Drink to that.
We in the rum shop.
Yeah. Yeah.
We in the rum shop.
Yeah.
Yeah. We in the rum shop.
Yeah. Yeah.
We in the rum shop.
Yeah.
Yeah. So bring a rum, bring it come in the rum shop talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So bring a rum, bring it come in the rum shop talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
We in the rum shop.
Nice one.
We in the rum shop. And let me tell you, this week is fire, pepper, is anything upon you. Go and get your extinguisher. I hear it. The original Stephan Reis production.
Nice one.
Paid commission.
Oh, you see our rock back there, so people can see
Come
the
on.
logo.
Get
Never
on.
make them feel like
Get
looking
on,
for a
get
free
on.
ad now.
You gonna get that?
All right, nice.
The one and only Stephen Matterson. Well, everybody know him. The girl them sugar. And then
Ah, boy. Watch that smile. Watch that smile.
he like that one today.
What?
And the wanted man himself. The wanted man. NCW. Let me tell you something, Today is gonna be fire. We run late. There are all kind of technical difficulties because once Satish and David Welch try to expand upon what working, it'll stop working.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So
It's because we bring new staff.
new staff
Oh,
today. You see how much
blame it on
staff
the
they
new
have. They have a
staff.
whole technical team. But anyway, we're here. We're a little late. All the people who call and complain and message and complain and things, blow up the phone. We apologizing. We want to blame it on Satish whole, right? If you was here as a fly on the wall, I tell them every week, I say the conversation we have, Stephan, before the show starts.
They miss a whole show and a half. A whole show and a half. A whole show and a half. All you miss. Yeah, now we talk real thing, you know. I don't even know if we are energy to talk more.
I used to cuff them in the head. He said 3 times.
Yeah.
But seriously, somebody thinks, one of the things is, Mr. Man, say a hello. This is your first time.
Yeah.
Well, I like to say, thanks for summoning me here this evening.
Well, I don't know when Todd did that, you know. He listen, let me tell you something. You know why I didn't find my car? You know why I didn't find my car?
Tell me why.
Because he called me when I was in the police station making the report and he thought he heard PDB.
Oh my God.
And it's PDD.
Oh
And
God.
up to today, I saw a post where somebody sent me, says, Stephan, look, people still commenting on your car. Please be on the lookout for the silver wagon, PDB.
Oh gosh.
People still going with P. Everybody, whole country looking for PDB 16.
No, but you know what be
and
rough?
not PDD.
Stephan, you know be rough? If a man have that kind of man, they hold him.
Oh gosh, that
That
pressure,
would be
boy.
rough. That would
That's
be rough.
pressure.
That would be rough. I'm sorry about that.
So I heard what happened to you.
Yeah, so I was minding my business and my phone just started to ring.
Yeah.
Wife. I see my wife calling me. I leave the credit card before I leave home. What she calling me for? What you do, Phillip? I said, me and Phillip met.
God, boy, I
Boy, you make a
tell you.
video this morning? Because remember, I just got to the body, I just do my thing and I gone. My wife still sleeping, she didn't know what happened.
Yeah.
I said, no, what happened? People messaging, they say, Phillip looking for you. I said,
Yeah.
Let me tell you what.
but I don't know who Phillip is.
I see that video, and I say that man had to be on Rum Shop Talk. But today was a hustle, It was a hustle. So I take a screenshot of the video. I say, I want this man number. And I gone.
Yeah.
I expecting people to take it wrong. And they gone looking for him.
And looking for the
Yes,
man
yes.
like Trinidad Most
And
Wanted.
if you go
So
in the comments,
he called me. He
The
said,
man could have ended up on Beyond the Tape. Also, he on Beyond the Tape
if
this
you go in the
evening.
comments,
Day.
people screenshotting, this is him. Looking at money. I say,
I never tell you something.
we find him.
yeah.
He will remember that this morning I come off the air and I now coming out the studio
Yes.
and to take a drop with my director. And before I could have gone, he was now in the traffic heading into
to
Port of
work,
Spain and he
yeah.
put on the window. He say, hey, I now put out a video, check it out. By the time I sit down in the car and I do so and I go on into WhatsApp, I see 2-3 message. I don't get that on WhatsApp, you know. And
No,
never
it's
tell
gone
something.
viral. It's gone viral. It's
Because
gone viral.
I comment to him now to elaborate on it and everything. But let me tell you something. When something go viral that quick, it's because people could relate to it.
Touch and go.
And it touch a nerve and people could relate to it. So, like, I want to find out, okay, we know, well, first off,
But he
we have
was
to give a
right.
little background as to what he does
But
do.
he was damn right.
Because everybody know him, a lot of people will know him on social media as a comedian per se.
Yeah.
But I always find
I
like
only get his
I
serious
just tell
talk thing.
Manu,
That was news to me today. That he's a
Right.
comedian is news. Because all I get is his serious talk business. And he
So
was
people would forward to you
Yeah.
what will interest you.
That's right.
So my page is a balanced page, more or less. It's more comedy based, right? But I had to use the comedy to get this,
well, you did.
right? So
did.
once I got the airs, I start to actually introduce what I'm really about, because I came from a background of community work, right? 20 years in the Diego Martin community, football, steel pan. I work with schools in Diego Martin. I work with all the youths for over 20 years. A lot of people don't know this.
Yeah.
You know, so sometimes they might see me speak on certain things and they don't understand that that is
Yeah, but
really
That's right.
Yeah,
That
he
is
can't
very-
undervalue because I hear you, but I
Yeah.
want to tell you something. You are a critical thinker. We talk about that all the time. You are a critical thinker. And a lot of people are lazy thinkers. Don't take it wrong if you fall in that category like yourself. But a critical thinker is somebody who sees the message behind the message.
yeah.
So when you respond, you come in at it where whoever trying to manipulate the narrative wasn't expecting you to
Exactly.
be seeing the agenda.
But for this not something new that I was doing. Who follow me know that ever so often I always get down to the ground and bring a topic or stand up for something. If I feel like people don't have a voice in something and I have a little hearing, a little following, I would pick up on that, because that is where I come from. I come from, you know, the ground where I dealing with parents, I dealing with children who hungry. I can't even get them a note to play because they're hungry. I say, what happened? I have to provide something for them to eat. I come from, you know, basically, it's Uncle Nigel that is called me in my neighborhood, right? All the children. So I have 3 boys and I have a whole set of children besides my 3 boys.
And people don't know that.
You understand?
Yeah.
So people who just see the funny videos, they might just know me online, but people from the Diego Martin area, people who familiar with me would know, well, hey, this man is more than that. You know?
Yeah.
So this morning now stem from a trend that I've been watching for years, right? My father had 5 children, and he was a police, and then there's police are making a certain money. So he used to hustle and things.
Police making money now?
Well, still, right?
Well, I have police partners and they're telling me, but they always vex some money. Money always small, money always late.
And how does deal with all these women they want?
Ah, boy!
Anyhow,
That's a story for
that's all
another
right,
day,
sir.
or later on in the show.
Former police officer Stephan Matheson.
Understand is get paid by a fan.
So let me not sidetrack.
Right.
So I grew up seeing my father hustling, right? And every time July, August reached, my father religiously had to take a loan from the police credit union to buy books and supplies for it. That was since when? Right? Fast forward now. Now, over the years, they had governments come and go. Some give little grants, some give little thing. My thing is, at this day and age, right? Coming out from a pandemic, especially, right? We have never had a government that puts something in place, you might say legislation or whatever, that is concrete, that don't matter who come in office, this mustn't change when it comes to school books and helping
You're sounding like Selvon Mitchell.
and helping
You see that all the time?
the less
You
fortunate,
see,
right?
right?
I just
Keep
want to
talking.
finish. Let me just finish the point. If it's based on a certain salary, whoever making this and under automatically qualifies for this grant.
Right.
Yet no government has actually did it in that way, with that no matter who come in office, this will happen. That is the first point.
Right.
Second point is the auditors and the people who selling the books. Nobody guarding them.
Right.
They're doing literally what they want. You understand? And it's totally unfair to have a book this term and you change 2 and 3 pages in that same book.
Yep.
And then you telling a parent they can't use that book again.
You know, look, I
They
just say, while you're
can't-
saying that, I just read on my Facebook, I want a PNM big shot, Wilson saying the government needs to put a stop to the school book mafia. Why the hell
We
they
get to
can't
there.
pass down the books
Right?
from one child to another?
That's what- I mean, that's what it
When
always
you
used
were
to be.
small, You don't remember the West Indian reader?
I feel like the most time I'll get to talk later.
You're getting all back. I wish I had a pen and a paper. You're raising some good points, and I want to answer all. But I want to tell you, you remember the West Indian reader?
Yeah.
West Indian reader, book 1, book 2, book 3, book 4. If I was the third child, so by the time I get it, it don't cover. But everybody in the family, when you go in,
Student
you pass it
companion,
on.
the student companion.
That's an
all of
extra
that.
Student companion
It
never
had books
changed.
that year. It
My
had books.
student companion, it used to smell like Methuselah. It used to smell like it here since Adam was a
Right.
boy. What he just said, I have been hearing people saying this for years now. It means the Education Facility Company Limited not facilitating education and facilitating enrichment.
Exactly.
Who is guarding that, as he said?
No one.
And EFCL closed down.
And by the way,
Didn't
one.
EFCL
Yeah, EFCL
close,
closed
didn't EFCL close down? They closed down
Yeah, they closed
EFCL to get past that. To get past that, Trinidad and Tobago is in trouble. That is how they're doing the thing now. A woman challenged me. I just want to say this one thing and pass it back to you.
Yeah,
I just trying to understand. This is 2022. I'm willing to bet, of the 4 of us on this table here, we've not touched a book in months, if not years. You don't rely on paper unless somebody sends you a bill or something. You're not looking for your information in a book. Everything is on a screen somewhere. So why isn't this information, because you could save all the publishing, all the typesetting, all of the printing, all of that, the distributing, the transportation, you could save all of the cost. Just take the data, put it online, get your piece.
That's the point. That's the other
Right.
point I was going to make. Right? So if there's an update of 2 to 3 pages, or even 5 pages, why it can have a system where you go online, you print these pages,
You don't even have a print.
or you.
In the world today, every student have a tablet.
But let me
or
say, you
something,
want it in the
know.
physical book. So you print the
You just
pages
infuse it in the book.
and you just
And
infuse
you-
it
yeah.
into the book to cut some costs.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, I just say so much.
It's a mafia. It's a school book
food.
mafia.
Let me
It's a
find
mafia.
out something. Let me find out
Just like
It's a
we have all
mafia.
the other
Yeah,
but
mafia.
let me-
Say it
Just
again,
like
the
all the other
country is
mafia.
run.
But I want-
The country
It's
is
a
run by
mafia.
But
mafias.
I wanted to put something out there for the people, right? Because you didn't just do a video on your phone and put it out there this morning. Just so
Right.
it must be because the cost factor for the same topic that we discussing right now taking a toll on your pocket.
Of course.
So what I think people need to understand is that you ain't working for minimum wage,
All right.
right? So we have minimum wage earners in the country, right?
Which
that
are about
will have,
which are about 60% that the working.
and they may have, let me say 2 or 3 children. Let me say 2. We'll just use 2 for now. How many children you have?
So let me address what you're
Right, go
asking
ahead.
there now. So Phillip, panel, I analyze. Now last night.
I sending it out at the show.
Now I watching this for a while. I'm a parent. I have a lot of children who I lend support to, families. So I watching this for a while. And I sit down last night after having a discussion with my wife because we haven't bought any books as yet.
Right.
Because we was waiting on a transfer for one of my sons, which come true, so we was waiting on that.
Right.
Right? So I have 2 in secondary school, Form 2, going in Form 2, going in Form 3, and I have in primary school.
Right.
So I sit down and she telling me the books for everybody might come up to over $6,000.
What you telling me?
Books and uniform
What you
and,
telling
Like
me?
2,000 a
and,
child.
and registration
Average.
fee
Yeah.
because you get transfer
How
and all
people
these
paying
things.
that? How
Right?
people paying that?
That's the next
Listen,
thing,
yeah, the point.
uniform
Yeah.
and
School.
registration fees
So
and things. Yeah.
I say, listen. Now my wife don't work; she's a stay-home wife because we decided on that because I want my children to grow up a certain way. But I created certain things that she can make some money home. I have an 8 to 4. I juggle the online thing when the ads come in. I get my little ads plus I launch marketing, apparel, clothing line
That's
during
right.
the pandemic. I doing all that. You know what I'm telling you? And when my wife tell me about them, how much these things gonna come to, I say, but like I had to take a loan.
Wow.
And so I say, if I, who have certain income coming in at different places, this going to dent me, what about the person who barely have a good job?
Right.
You understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah, where that put them?
So what inspired us, not just me,
Exactly.
Boss man.
It's when I
Plenty
think
people who
about
committing crime in this country,
the other people, how they gonna
they're committing
survive?
crime. They're committing crime to pay
Look-
for school book. They're
look at
paying crime.
something.
They're committing crime to pay for uniform. They're committing
Right.
crime to put food on the table. This is
survive.
to
And
survive.
I want to believe
Were
that
you
that-
telling your wife?
I want to believe that
Always
affordability
my
or lack of
excuse,
affordability
Wait.
to purchase books, right?
We'll come back to that.
In terms of the book list, I think if we draw a line to the fail rate at the SCA, with so many students failing, a lot of it had to do because the family
Accessibility.
just don't have the money to buy the books for the children. It's not just about the environment, but it's the tools that each child is equipped with.
When you-
So some will, not just some, but some, and this is why you have the haves and you have nots, and you have the children that are trailing, and the only thing they could offer right now is vacation classes that only, how many children signed up for it? They
Three.
said it was 3,000? I don't even think it's so much.
No, it wasn't.
But it's
much.
9,000.
much.
It was 9,000.
9,000 failed. So even if 3,000 signed up, you have 6,000
Well,
students.
to be,
that we don't know where the hell they
fair,
are.
the pandemic had a lot to do with that too. A lot
Yeah.
of people.
You see, you
children.
can't just say
I'm not
that.
saying it's a
no,
whole
no,
lot
no,
thing,
no, no, but you see when he
because
said
I
that,
know
right?
a lot of children
People have
who
said,
stopped going to school during the pandemic.
During the pandemic,
I know
right.
personally.
yeah, but you see, and I want to say this, right? The whole world had a glitch. Like we say, we had a 2-year glitch. It wasn't just Trinidad, the whole world. So everything, my niece, she was in her 4th year of medical school, and they didn't know when they were getting their last year, and they lost a year, and all kind of bacchanal. So it affected everybody.
Yeah.
You as government, you had a responsibility to make sure that whatever is affecting, because the ministers was drawing their salaries. If you are the Minister of Education and you know this glitch is going on, you still have a responsibility to educate the nation's children. If the teachers was drawing their salaries and you say you want to do it online, you had to put certain things in place. Parents home with the children, everybody locked down.
And if you listen to my video this morning, that's why I mentioned that to the education minister. You know, you keep big function the other day. Bring all these lecturers, who knows, some of them probably get paid, right? But at the end of the day, did you actually study coming out of the pandemic? These parents who going to have to buy books and supplies, did you put anything in place for that? Even if it was a special grant that passed government.
Well, remember,
You
PNM say
understand?
education is free, right?
You just
We ain't know about that right now.
You
They
just
say
said something.
education is
You
free.
just said something, Stephen, and I think you should say it again. That there is no justification for criminal activity to feed your family. But ban must survive. If you disenfranchising the poor, but you're telling the poor education is a way out of poverty, you're setting me up to fail.
Because you're not making it easy for them.
You've just given me a pathway. You say go through that door and you will have everything you need. When I open the door, the door is a brick wall.
Your
setting
foot
me
in
up
front
to
it.
fail.
Your foot in front it and your partner foot in front it.
One thing we forget to mention pertaining to the books. All the books that can't be handed out, I have a whole cupboard of books in a corner.
With nothing,
and
they can't do anything
and
with
can't
it.
do- so-
And it's
so-
reading material
and
for
some
which
of
you
which-
can.
Some of the books never used.
Boss man,
Wow.
who opened their geometry pan to do
Never
anything but play?
used.
Yeah.
Who used their geometry pan for anything but to carve in the people's desk?
So Philip, when we
teacher
going to
Joseph-
address the teachers now with this? Why are we having parents buying books that children are not using?
I think that the point
Whole
that
bag
you
of
raised,
books on the back.
there is
The
no,
back
and
is
getting
straight.
school
Yeah.
notes and
This is
stuff.
the questions
But,
we have
but,
to
but,
ask.
but Stephan, the point that he raising there, people have been raising this point for a long time, and I think that it is something that should have been in the public space. I mean, everything leapfrogging over it, but this is the children. When you look at these, every time I do a video, I'm talking about these 9,000 children.
Yeah.
These
was a national
9,000,
disaster.
boss man, they're staring into the double barrel of madness.
Yeah.
They are now 11, 12 years old. So it's still cute. But I'm going to be 16 and 17 just now with hormones rushing through their body and they're unhireable. Where they going to get the fancy clothes and the ticket to the party? Because you know, when you're young, you're driven by, I had a 15 and I had a, right? These children, you set them up to fail with the education. And now the system, what is the system going to do with them?
It have no place for them in the system.
What are you going to do with them?
They have no, and this might sound bad, but they're going to be an accountant in a fast food restaurant.
Or in jail.
Plain and simple.
Or in jail.
if they do end up in jail. That's where they're going to end up. Now,
But that's me posting motivation posters every day on
Okay,
our
but
wall.
right,
And I go in and ask
let me make
her.
this point, right? You said, all right, this is the situation as it is, right? In terms of the books, and you have books on a shelf. And I big up the TikTok audience that watching us live right now. Big up TikTok. And Facebook too. You don't want to get jealous, all right? YouTube? YouTube. So, you know, don't get jealous. All right, so here's the thing. Here what disappoints me, right? We about, what, a week and a half away from
school?
From not from school, from 60 years of independence.
Oh, okay.
Where we're going to spend $7.5 million. Now, $7.5 million is small in the context of the kind of money that we usually spend behind
Not really.
events, right?
The children he's talking about is 20,000 children.
Right, no, I understand what you're saying.
That's just about $3 per person.
Right, so this is the
So
point
that
I'm coming
no
to.
money.
I don't know how many of
Yeah,
you
but it's
saw.
not every child will need the assistance, eh?
I don't know exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know how
that.
many,
Yeah.
and some might not need the full
Yeah.
assistance. Some might be able to
Some-
foot 50% of the bill to help them with the
Yeah.
other 50%.
Yeah.
But the thing is this, I saw a video where a guy put out a video with a particular school. I can't remember the name, it is a kind of weird Indian name, although hate me for that. I covered it on my program on Breaking Dawn. And this school is, the roots of the school is in India. Right? They have this school set up in India. And outside of India, the only other country that they have ever set up the school is in Trinidad. Good?
Gandhi Memorial or something?
No. I'll get the name for you in just a little bit. I'll check it on my phone. This school is building the first smart school in Trinidad and Tobago. The guy walked around and he showed all the things that the board will be a big screen, touch, and everybody will screen. They will have sockets on the
Ports,
ground
yeah.
for them to plug
I have
into.
to interrupt you.
They will have a door.
Brendan Butts, who was a teacher, I don't know if he was the vice principal.
That available.
No.
Hold on.
Listen, man.
Hold on.
The
5
Tobago people right now buying 22 of them smart board systems from Brendan Butts.
Right, so my point is this.
We have that here.
I understand. We may have it to a certain extent, but
No,
not
I just want to answer
like
what
what
you
this
said.
fella was
No, I just want
explaining.
to answer what you're saying. If you get Brendan Butts on the phone for this show, and he'll tell you that
Listen.
we could have done smart schools in Trinidad 5 years ago.
Okay, and I'm
But
not
this is what
saying
I'm
no.
saying.
I'm not
I
saying
was
no.
at Lockjack, and
I'm
at
not
Lockjack
say-
we had
and
those.
I'm
Yeah, but
not
at what
saying no.
level? It was there, but at what level?
At what level? This guy is
We need
showing
it now
you
in the...
a school. I come to the point.
Yeah.
The guy is showing you the school that they are building as a private entity from India, operating in Trinidad. A smart school for their students. He said their school guarantees 100% pass rate of every student. No student is left behind. My point is, they have eliminated books completely. So if they could do that as a private entity, and this is the point I want to make, why it is the government of Trinidad and Tobago, with all the resources that they have, cannot do the same thing for the children in
Mr.
Trinidad and
Man,
Tobago?
Mr. Man.
Why it is children still walking around with a book bag instead of a laptop
But
bag?
Mr.
What? I just said,
But Mr. Man,
or a tablet or something.
But you asking the question, and you asking the question, the answer in the question. Finland has the highest standard of education in the world. Finland. You know, children don't start school in Finland before the age of 7. They don't want you in a school before your brain fully formed, where you could understand education.
Right.
In Japan, the first couple years of school, they don't teach you anything education, you know. They just teach you how to be a better human being.
Right.
They just teach you manners. They just teach you how to fit into society.
before they...
Korea and these places too.
Before they absorb any-
in Japan,
Yeah.
in Japan, schools don't have janitors, you know. You clean your class. You clean the toilet that you pissing in.
Responsibility.
So everybody now know I might end up the one cleaning this toilet today. So I ain't making a mess of
Right.
it.
You see,
But I'll tell you something.
Go ahead.
No, the thing is, when you consider, I don't want to go there in the comparison, because we do relatively well in the Caribbean still. I mean, we are third, really, in the highest literacy in the Caribbean. Third.
That's a terrible indictment against the rest of the Caribbean.
Just now. Third, well, what I'm saying is third to Barbados and Cuba. Right? Cuba, which is the highest, right? The thing is, it is about how you organize your resource. It's one thing to say that you have free education, but it's how you organize your resources to help the people that need the help the most.
True.
And that's the problem in Trinidad and Tobago.
There's a difference
and
between
it has a lot to do with politics.
No, but Stephan,
Unfortunately.
there's a difference between equity and equality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's a difference between saying all of us have free education, but you can't access the free education because you can't access the book.
Exactly.
So you're there in school, you're belly rumbling, they cut the school feeding program, mommy and daddy can't afford to
Thank
feed
you.
you.
Right.
You know where Trinidad going? Trinidad going a kind of elitist mindset, and people talking stupid and say, well, why all they make children? And I want to tell the same people who telling me that, I know your father, I know your grandfather when he used to be sleeping under people's car to sell, to make money, to bring home at the end of the month, to get your grandmother so that your father could have pay for the 9 hours that he make. So don't talk now, like if people don't want to have children now. All of that kind of slack talk is what does undermine this country from locking arms and going forward. Every conversation you're all talking about here, it is too easy to say, well, I ain't seen black people in that, or I ain't seen Indian people in that, or I ain't seen Syrian people in that. It mustn't be a race thing, it is a race thing, killing way.
And I'm going to make another point. How long ago was the SCA results, did the SCA results come out? It came out in June, right? May, June, somewhere around this one?
I remember something.
Okay, my point is this, right? You have a national disaster, and I continue to call it that because that is what it is. It is a national disaster. When, how much it is? 9,000.
9,000.
Out of how much? 15,000?
Yeah, about 18 or 19.
20,000 children supposed to sit SEA every year.
Yeah.
Right. But how much? All right, 9,000 fail, right? That's a national disaster. My thing is, if you are going to accept this as for the disaster that it is, okay, and you're coming out of a pandemic, like you said, which would have increased the degree of difficulty for many income earners and children, right? Did you, before you come up with this knee-jerk reaction to have
A month.
a month of classes,
Remedial,
right?
Yeah, what was that supposed to
Did
do?
you properly assess, okay, who are these 9,000 students? Let me check the socio-economic backgrounds, right? Let me see how much of them come from single-parent homes. You must identify the possible problems amongst this group of children that have failed so bad before you even move forward, because unfortunately, the system is now, I mean, back in common entrance days, you feel you could have stayed back and you could have repeated again, but now they must be absorbed into the secondary school system.
The answer to that lies in a number of things. We don't critically think, right? And the problem...
No, the government is
well, right,
critical.
but the problem is that persons, educators have been saying this for quite a while, right? We in Trinidad and Tobago, we have all the data, but we don't use data. So nothing is measured in Trinidad and Tobago. We talk every year about how many people fail and that kind of thing, but we have no measurement. We don't know, we operate in blind all the time. We don't use data, we don't use analytics for nothing. So if we start with how you educate people, the first thing is, what we try to do in Trinidad and Tobago in our system is we try to educate a alligator, a bird. We put everybody in one class. We don't use a VAC. We don't try to understand how people learn. We don't try to do none of those things and develop the data stream for it so that you can treat different persons from different cultural background, from different socio-economic standing in a way that they can learn the same way, or that they can learn in an equitable kind of way.
Yeah.
You exam everything. And that's one of the problems.
And that, you finished?
Yeah, for now. Yeah, go ahead.
And that is why I want to say this. The SCA is a nonsense exam.
It is.
The SCA system is a nonsense system. If you talk to psychiatrists and psychologists in Trinidad, the SCA exam is one of the largest contributors to mental illness in Trinidad and Tobago. You know? The stress of developing children, being told, when you still believe in Santa Claus, that you must plan the rest of your life now. You must know. And if you fail, mommy and daddy have to tell you this, especially poor people. Poor people have to tell the children, if you fail, you're going to be eating grass.
Unnecessary
the pressure on children. Let me tell you something. The point you just raised is such a perfect point. And every single year that they have an SCA exam, every year for the past 15 years, I've written a letter to Trinidad, every year apologizing to the children, every year that we don't have zone schools and a grade point average and 10-year schools. See those three things? If you put children in school at the age of 5, they come out 15, the parents would have grown with the educators all through the child's career. The children would have made friends at the age of 5 that are now their friends as teenagers, lifelong friends. You've just knitted the community together. SCA fractures the community.
Keep people in the communities to
You're
go to
keeping
school,
people in the
everything,
community,
you know.
developing the community, culture, sport, people identifying, people looking out. The fact that
If you want to talk about Finland and Norway, that's what they
but
do.
that's what they do. And they don't separate. They don't separate. Well, you just said, Einstein said that if you treat all animals the same, you'll make a fish feel stupid and he can't climb a tree. You cannot.
Exactly. Exactly.
But you can't continue operating one size fits all.
Exactly. And that's what we do in
We
Trinidad.
have
And
brilliant
we say we have a brilliant education system.
When you just said, that's why when you said we third in the Caribbean, I said as a sad indictment on the rest of the Caribbean.
I want to. Yeah, go ahead.
When you, all right, in my situation, when I was bright in primary school,
Yeah.
straight A's. They zoned me,
Right.
send me junior sec. I live right next to the school, they go Martin Junior sec. I reach there, see girls, 'cause I went to all boys school.
Right.
I see girls, I get stupid.
Christmas. Christmas.
I no longer,
Ooh, set me free.
I no longer studying books. I get haywire,
Yeah.
right?
Plenty of us that was our
Didn't do as well. They send me to
blame women.
the school close to Fatima,
Right, it's one close to Fatima. Right, all right, no problem.
right?
You know which one that is,
Yeah,
right?
You know I'm going to say.
That's all right.
You know I'm going to talk when he done. Right? I'm waiting.
But you are CIC boy.
You no, it's
Right.
not that. It's not that. But you see, let me just jump in with this. Boss man, I went in to do videos there asking, how can the school next to Fatima be a failed school and Fatima be
And
a
Fatima
prestige school?
and a prestige school. But you send it to the school next to
Right.
Fatima.
So I went to the school next to Fatima. I go on there now, boy. Them start. I go on, cause I did welding in junior sec on a minor level. So I don't see I had a little thing for welding.
Yeah.
So I say, but boy, I'm a thing me. Mr. Duke become Mr. Duke from Big Martin Junior Sec. Pull me anyway, cause that wasn't a subject to say you could have get there.
Right.
Right? So I done do any maths and realize, this academics thing,
It's in, yeah.
yeah, dynamite thing.
Right.
But it was in primary school.
In primary school.
In primary school.
What shifted?
Wait, things has changed. So I reached the school next to Fatima
has
now,
changed.
right?
Yeah.
I didn't get welding. Everybody rushed that. I ended up getting what was dressmaking and designing.
You serious?
I'm telling you. So that's the first thing there one time I like, what the hell? First class, man telling me about pricking and all kind of thing. I like, what the hell is this? Yeah? I shocked when he said that because you know what I mean? I didn't know nothing about
So
that.
you could make a
Right.
dress?
Make what dress?
You could weld one.
I could take off one.
You could weld one. You might weld that dress.
So, going in the maths class now, I see they put letters in the maths. I was like, what is this? X equal this. I
This,
said,
yeah.
me, I know nothing about that. Right? They never give you that in junior sec. Oh, I missed that class. I was in Form 4, I tell my father, I said, Daddy, you ever this isn't making sense. I can't comprehend this. Take me out of here. I like welding. I'm going to do the welding. And then my father the mechanics. I tell my father that. Because I didn't want him waste no money. I see
Yeah.
that
That's not for you.
that's not for
One
me.
thing in for you and this is
Yeah,
the-
you understand? I'm getting a real story here. I went white tap. I did welding, passed, get my certificate. Then I went do my diesel mechanic, get my papers. The job I do now, and part of the job is managing the company vehicles. Right?
Right.
The moral of that is, goes back to what Ole said. You can't treat everybody the same way. You understand where I'm coming from?
And
Yeah.
Had I had stayed in that system and tried, I would have drowned in that system.
Yeah. You might not be saying no here today.
You understand where I'm coming from?
And that's what
I-
that's one of the genesis of our problem.
You understand where I'm coming from?
And-
And I'm glad
No,
you raised that
no,
point.
if somebody could take the academics, I'm not push your child and I
Nah,
push my
wait,
child.
you see, you need to stop. Because I
You
asked you a
understand?
question, you say things change.
Go ahead.
You say things change. I want to tell you something. When the Vikings and the British were still fighting over eating raw meat and living under grass, Africa had given the world math.
Math.
Africa had given the world astronomy. It is Africa that had
Shipbuilding.
charted.
Yeah.
It is Africa that had charted the heavens. It is Africa that had given us crop cycles. Modern man exists because of things developed in Africa. And I'm saying that because I live in a country. I live in a country where tongue in cheek, it is pretended that black people stupid. Tell me if I lie.
No, you're not lying.
And
Wait, let me just cut you there.
I'm glad you cut
They
me.
label you stupid because once you don't fit the agenda that they're pushing.
Because you don't learn how you're not
learning
learning in the same way how they
other people
expect
learn.
it to be
You
learned.
automatically
You're
stupid.
stupid.
but wait, it was. I'm telling you this because you should be upset and you should be upset. And I'll tell you why you should be upset. Because the system is not the same for you. Okay.
When you're saying you, what are you trying to
In
say?
Trinidad, people of poverty. No, I'm telling you, I did a whole
I
video.
mix it, I never noticed.
And I see you say
You say you and you, eh?
That's one of the containment.
I must be
That's one of the containment.
They must be vexed. I must be vexed too.
Stephan, I know you have big degree.
And my
I'm
great grandfather is a white man from
big
Ireland, eh? So
no, I'm not talking. I'm not just
I
talking.
don't go. We must get a little comedy in it too. You bring a comedian, what you expect?
I did a video the other day, a couple of weeks ago, where I had gone to Pappy's Fried Chicken,
Uh-huh.
the pepper chicken man.
Yeah.
And the security guard who opened the door for me, the conversation that man had with me, every now and then I meet somebody, often,
Yeah.
that I see the brain in that person. I see the brain. That this person, if had given an opportunity where he would be, I have a guy that works for me.
Yeah.
He works for everybody. He's still young. His name is Levi. Levi, I tell people, Levi, he lives in a HTC housing project in Diego Martin. Levi is quite possibly the brightest human being I have ever spoken to in my life.
Really?
Levi brain's so sharp, he's embarrassed me and I was get vexed with him. Because I bright. I real bright. And Levi does see some things and make some jokes. You see how we talked earlier about to be a comedian and find this joke in something serious. Pull it out,
I was
make
just
you
about
laugh.
to say that to be a comedian, you have to be a real intelligent
Make-
guy.
Make you
You
laugh,
must
but
be-
you still miss the message. That, but the boy sharp boy, and I'm watching him, starting the experiment with the weed and thing. I know him since he about 16 years old. The best I could give him right now is his work on job sites. With us, start off, labor. The boy teach himself. And you could see every single, because we do little development projects and things. If the man come to install locks, Levi working with him. By next week, Levi telling you, if he ain't come, I gotta fix the lock for you. Levi teach himself masonry, carpentry,
You're talking about me here.
air
Self-learning.
conditioning.
Well, you're talking about me
Air
here.
conditioning. Okay, so I'm saying,
You're talking about us, yeah.
You're talking about us. I'm like that.
I wish I had the money to mind that boy just to make the point.
So wait, you have no money?
Boss man,
I thought you had money, you know.
When they talk
All over the place.
Mr. Comedian, when you talk about the three most dangerous people in Trinidad and Tobago, right? African who in office and fighting to stay in power, Indian who really want to get in, and a poor white man. That is white man.
He over there, the poor white man that wants to get in.
Well, I am shocked.
are they done yet? Are they done yet?
I thought the order we use the money, man.
You know what you're always supposed to say? You know, I'm expecting, I will set up a GoFundMe. Help you. Oh gosh, my brother, let me go down.
But just the,
But
Yeah.
I just saying to you,
Yeah.
I wish, no, because you had to literally take on the cost of this person, you had to pay them a salary, because that's what it is. As asked, does the Prime Minister not drive past the traffic lights by Super Farm and Westmall and see these 30, 40 children from Cocorite in the road? I tell people all the time, they're in their teens now, they're cute, they're laughing, getting a little bounce and thing. But just now, you ain't want no big man wiping your glass. It's funny then. What are you doing then? What are you doing then? Somebody at a pass.
Well, all right. Let me just step in here because this is our next thing that go down, that goes straight down Nigel Alley here, right? Because you say you do a lot of community work.
Yeah, I know some of the guys there actually.
So my thing is, we talking about the education system and okay, academics is not for everybody, and we were actually going to have a conversation on sport today as well.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be there.
Right?
Because
Because
I also working with the sports group in the Mountain.
Right.
We just finished under 20 league there.
under 20 league.
Yeah, sports
All right.
league, yeah.
Well, let me kind of slide that in because a guy that I know very well goes out to Nelson Mandela Park every Saturday and Sunday with an academy with young children, football. And he was very upset that the grounds wasn't being kept up to mark and maintained. And well, a promoter had a fete there Sunday morning that took up like a nice little portion of the park, taken away from the children. There are trucks coming. And he was making the point, rain fall, all these trucks driving, the children and them coming out. What is we really doing about sport, because here we have some children. And this is almost in every community.
Right.
Every community will find children.
Yeah.
We have children that are interested in a sport. And here they come to engage in that sport with their peers. Right? And now we put a fete where the grounds that they're using, a fete is given priority over them. So what impression we leaving for them then, right? Now my point is, if a child is not academically inclined and they're not skilled in wanting to learn a trade, let me say mechanics or welding or anything of that nature, sports is the other element that they would gravitate towards before they even think about breaking the law and joining a gang.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, sports is already pay.
In Trinidad.
Yeah.
In Trinidad.
In Trinidad.
A young boxer told me yesterday.
We had Leslie Tiger Slaughter
a
when
young
I was
boxer.
growing
He
up
said,
as a
listen.
local boxer.
I said, but why you was a boxer? Why you just go? Your father was a boxer. Everybody know. He said, but how much money my father make? You know any boxer in Trinidad who was ever make any money, ever do anything?
But we must act.
And he get promoted in any way?
A national long distance runner, when he was doing candlelight movement, he was lighting candle outside here, a national long distance runner, he talked to me, he's run for Trinidad and Tobago, homeless living in a park.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
But guys,
look,
I think
no, I just want to find out from your experience before we can go, from your experience dealing with young people in communities, because we had to make this point. As we're talking about the cost of books and the cost of this and the cost of that and the education system and everything, all the failing that taking place. Sports is an avenue to a better life.
It is.
Even in Trinidad and Tobago.
Even because we have breakthrough cases.
Yeah.
And we have cases of people.
Yeah.
but it's an avenue to keep
right.
keep
You
your-
know,
It's
they
a- it's a-
We have the
it's a keep your-
Acroboldans, we have the...
have the breakthrough
we have-
cases.
Yeah, but
you understand?
how many of them?
And we've had
I
it
mean,
throughout history.
It's not much.
It's an
Stephan,
avenue to keep you occupied
Stephan,
to some
imagine
extent.
the world if Beethoven had never had access to a piano.
And this is the thing. The reason why we don't have money in sports in Trinidad and Tobago is because we don't develop it.
It's come from
Plain
the
and
top and all
simple.
stuff.
Okay.
If you could give
It's not
permission
properly
to close
financed.
down King George V Park
Yeah, but
on a Sunday morning so that the people could have a fete and you could be as
And they'll do
naked
it.
and as drunk as you want.
We have more fetes taking place in Taruba than actual
I
sporting
call him
activities.
Vex.
So
I
what we
call-
built Taruba for?
I call him Vex. I call him Vex because I say, these children, and he tell me I want to send you a video. He sent me video on showing me the grounds. So when they're done and they pick out the fence and they're gone and they make the money, the grounds is destroyed. You can't come and run football with they drive trucks when it was muddy.
Yeah.
So it leave gullies. You can't run ball. It twist your ankle. And
Well, look how much stadiums we have.
Let me just say something. From my experience in community work over 20 years, dealing with parents, with children, to all over Trinidad, I carry children all over Trinidad to entertain, beach, all over, name it.
Yeah.
We play all over. I carry my children all over. And if it's one thing I can say is that from the top in terms of government and policy makers, they have never really addressed culture, sports,
Yeah.
and
Arts.
and the arts in this country. You understand? And because of that, we have citizens now who don't care. I literally run a session in the panel there by the water wheel for years. Me and Professor Pro Huggins, right? That's my mentor. And we have people in the neighborhood, River Estate, all kind of people up there. Doctors, lawyers, probation gardens, all kind of. And people literally seeing these children there passing. I can't tell you one person in all them big shot people, they even come a day and say, you don't need any
You need any assistance? You need any thank you.
You need to finish that point just now.
Wait,
because
so it's wait, let me just finish. So because of that how you call it, that they created at the top, it trickled down now to the citizens.
Yeah.
You understand where I'm coming from? Because we can't expect the government to do everything.
Right.
But the citizens and all, they do not appreciate.
Even those within the community.
Yeah, they don't
See,
appreciate what
you
we
see,
have.
you
They don't
see.
appreciate. We just keep these sports. We had to put loudspeaker. We had to do all kinds of things just to get our stadium to full.
Guys,
Right?
you know, everything you're saying here has a part. It ends with developing, because you're not developing what you see, the good minds, sports and that kind of, it ends with developing criminals, right? And which is one of the things I want to talk about today. Because
Okay.
if you really understand what is happening in Trinidad and Tobago now, you should be afraid. You should be afraid. We are like sitting ducks. You know, people today, you don't get a firearm just so from the government, from the police or from whoever authority to protect yourself.
Yeah.
And you just walking around and you have people targeting you
Yeah.
with guns bigger than the police guns. Now I want to say something about this because, and it's one of the things, I want to agree first with Rodney Charles. I don't usually agree with that guy,
What, Rodney boy,
but I want to agree with that fella.
somebody agree with you?
When he said that he could bet me money, that you remember when they asked the commissioner of police, the deputy commissioner of police, or whoever he is, when they asked him, well,
That's the guy who said vote for PNM
I
on the
can't
UNC
remember.
platform.
When he said,
Yeah, that Rodney.
Okay.
That Rodney.
I want to make sure.
when he said,
Every now and then, Stephen Patterson
when he-
was talking about something.
allow me.
Me allow it, yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
When
Before you
Rodney
say-
Charles said that he could bet money that bringing out 60 officers who on holidays will change the paradigm, will fix crime or will help with the crime, he said that ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
And I agree with him 100%.
Right.
Right? Because again, with every other sector, the government is clueless about how to solve this crime situation. Clueless.
Yes.
Clueless.
Yes.
I'm telling you, that's
they
why I'm
created
saying we
more
are sitting
problems.
up.
We could do this here. We could do this here. Yes.
In 2013, when Dr. Rowley was really putting himself out there to be the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, I remember being invited, well, I was part of a group that invited him to a meeting in St. Augustine. I never forget that. And at the end of that meeting, I told Dr. Rowley, I said, Dr. Rowley, one of the things that I think you can explore in dealing with the crime situation is to have a national identification system. I don't know if he understood it, but I went and I told him, I said, listen, and what a national identification system will do is that you can have, you don't necessarily have to go all in the 9 yards, but you can have a system where you have everybody on a grid, from cradle to grave, your DNA, everything. Now, this might sound very controlled, but this could happen.
Okay.
And it means that committing crime will be a very difficult thing to do. But not only committing crime will be a difficult thing to do, you now are able to dispense of resources more equitably. You know who about to fall through the cracks. You know everything about everybody. It might be a little intrusive, But it can happen. We have, and I always say this, we have 1.3 or 1.4 million people in Trinidad and Tobago. There are countries in this world with companies in it, with more people as workers in it than we have as citizens in Trinidad and Tobago. And they have systems to manage all the people, they know everything about all the workers.
What is different
I want to
is
say
our
something to that when
culture.
you're done, right?
Right?
I wanna answer what you
And
said
there
at
are
that point.
systems, there are
stray from
there are
that point.
technology, like blockchain technology, for instance, where you cannot manipulate, you can't interfere with people's data and that kind of thing if you have it organized properly. So there are systems, and there are systems to allow for that kind of thing. What Dr. Rowley told me is that will require certain kind of majority, and they wouldn't get the support. But the thing is, all through the country, what you are having is the government, even in the last election, they were talking about a digitized economy. What is that digitized economy? Since they're talking about digitized economy, what have you seen that has changed, that the use of data that have made your life or my life better?
Okay, but I'd like to say something before.
They
I
start
give it
calling
back-
you early, like when you're owing. They call you before 10 down.
Exactly. Scotia will know if you may not be late with your mortgage next month.
Right.
And that's what
they
it's
call
for.
it
That shit always benefiting
No,
us.
but I just want to say something to you, though. I want to say something to you, right? But that's right. Scotia give me a pre-call. I feel like I may not be late next month, so I'm calling you from now. No, but let me tell you something. Don't take this wrong, because very rarely, I say in this world, very rarely do I disagree with Stephen Matheson. I disagree with him twice today, right now. One, he gave Rodney Charles credit for repeating what other people had said long before Rodney Charles get to say it. And police was the first people to say it. Start messaging people and saying, how bringing out 60 people or 80 people going to make a difference? But
24 murders in
as Stephan say-
4 days.
every now and then, he must stop clock correct twice. So if you get Rodney Charles, no problem.
It's Rodney.
But they have a saying, don't take this wrong. Those who give up essential liberty for temporary safety deserve neither and will lose both. And that means...
That's a nice quote there.
Huh?
That's yours?
No, I
Okay.
wish.
No, he uses a lot of people.
That
That is credited to Benjamin Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin.
Yes,
Nice.
Benjamin
But,
Franklin.
but I wish one day to make a statement like that, you know, like...
Well, you have living in your house, eh? I mean to say, that's global, you know?
I cry smart this morning, and everybody around there.
You have that, you know?
Anyway,
I will tell you the quote.
Yeah.
The last thing you say when you do the video with the men who just wipe the windscreen, directing the traffic. The last thing you say in that video, classic. I can't remember what it is.
No,
right
well, it didn't
now.
reach yet. It didn't reach yet.
No. I'm telling
But
you.
let me hear.
The last thing he said.
Let Phillip
It
finish.
was power that quote. You know,
Let
like,
Phillip
but
finish.
go ahead.
I really want to hear what Phillip had to
I
say.
want to finish this point. You're very correct when you say, and he alluded to it earlier, the tone of society is set by government. Trinidad is not a free society. The way we say it's a free society.
It isn't.
It's a controlled society. The government sets the tone. We don't have free education. We have controlled education. And if you have controlled education, the question has to be asked, why doesn't everybody do well? Because if you are responsible for the curriculum and you're responsible for the funding and you're training the teachers, why do some do good and some do bad?
Bad. Yeah.
That is a very serious question. And when you ask that question, you will realize that some do good and some do bad because it's a controlled society and some people are deliberately set up to fail.
Because that is not their strong point.
Not that. We are setting people up to fail. If you go into a prestige school,
We are setting
for
people
what-
up
Yes,
to work
no.
for the 1%.
No, listen. I understand what he is saying. You know.
But minimum wage.
There needs to be assessment.
If you let me finish, I just want to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead,
If
finish.
you go in a prestige school, Form 1, take a snapshot of all the children. Go in a failed school, Form 1, take a snapshot of all the children. Put two of them on a wall and say, neither of them are an equitable balance of the population demographic of Trinidad and Tobago. So you have to take away something from what you see in those images. And the only thing that it is telling you, for some reason, and you have to have this conversation, is the darker your skin is, the more failed the school you end up in. And something is wrong,
Wrong.
in Trinidad and Tobago. If I could tell you the math you are teaching all the children was invented in Africa. So you can't tell me one race of people brighter. I know the traffic light was invented by a black man. The only reason a monkey wrench is called a monkey wrench is because a black man invented it and they tried to insult him.
Yeah, but all right, you say something
Wait,
there,
I
Phillip.
want to finish, and I need to say this because
All right,
you
go
have to
ahead.
say this,
Go ahead.
and you
Go
have
ahead,
to,
go ahead,
and
go
I'm
ahead.
saying this to Trinidad and Tobago. The black community of Trinidad and Tobago needs to now stand up and ask these questions. Why does the education system have loopholes? Why can you end up on lists? Why are there 20%? Why does the schools get to come in and pick? Well, I know Jones and Mary and sing from when the father and mother was here. If it is a standardized exam to determine and separate fish from fowl, don't interfere with the process.
Right.
Let those who win, win, and those who lose, lose.
Lose,
Because there is a bit. At the level of the primary school,
Should not losers and winners at all.
No, well, this is the point I tried to
that's
make.
the point. Our education system, but I'm saying to
It's
you,
flawed.
but it is deliberately set
Badly.
up for there to be
But it's
losers.
deliberate.
And then they
And
manipulate.
I agree with what you're saying,
Yeah.
Phillip.
Why are you accepting it?
Right.
I just said to you,
So-
you should be upset. You know why you should be
So
upset? You
I
should be
am not
upset.
accepting it. This is
No,
why
you should
I am.
be upset. You should be upset because the school you went to next to Fatima, you can't call its name. I did a video facing a wall. I said, this side is a prestige school, this side is a failed school. The same Ministry of Education is responsible for the curriculum of both. The same Ministry of Education is responsible for the funding of both.
Yeah, but
the
the
same
school-
Ministry of Education teaches
The school had
teachers.
nothing to do with me not finishing. You know.
It's not,
The school itself.
don't personalize it.
No, I'm telling you, the school,
The walls.
the school itself, that had nothing to do with me not finishing it. The process
That's the point.
of I reaching there in the first place is what? Because I was supposed to
But
be.
things are a little different in prestige schools from the
He's
ordinary
not-
school, eh?
What I'm trying
I'll
to
tell
say.
you
Let me give
something.
you the Westmoreland's
Listen,
experience.
let-
When you leave school at the end of the day and you go home, and children in Westmoreland and Bayshore go home, and I'm telling you this, I work overtime to make sure that my children have multiples of extracurricular activities, ballet, gymnastics, football, all of those things that you should have had too.
Yeah, but-
you should not be limited.
Yeah, but not everybody.
Precisely.
Fortunate.
No, but
When you
I
say
want to
the
say
process,
something. I
when
want
you
to say
say the
something. Let me
process.
allow me.
Well, he.
I want to say something.
That can be the answer.
I want-
It should
No,
just-
I want to know what you mean by the process. But all right, Stephen, go
Here-
ahead.
here what I want to
I'll come
say.
back to Nigel.
And I would agree with Phillip. The school they call Prestige and the school they call junior secondary
lag.
school and thing, there's a big lag, right? There's really a big lag. I mean, the people might be different, but listen, I have a son that went to St. Mary's College just recently. He's studying medicine now. And I have a daughter that went to Tranquil, right? And the system is different.
Yeah.
I mean, the attentiveness, the amount of everything is different in the prestige
Prestige
schools
school.
from the other schools. Even how the interest by the teachers
this
and that kind of thing.
If I was to pick up all the children in Fatima and drop them in Mokorapo, and if I was to pick up all the children in Mokorapo and drop them in Fatima, will the results reflect the same stereotype? Fatima should win still? And if Fatima wins still, then Mokorapo is the problem.
Right.
And
but-
we need to have that conversation. That means that the education system is failing your children.
But just I want to hear the
Right.
process. You said it
So
was the process.
goes back how I look at it, right? If there was a process with the junior sex, and there is, right, where that they used to assess the children on what is their strong points and what is their weak points.
Yeah.
So you have 3 years to assess this children coming out of primary school to know if this child leaning towards academic, this child looking like he on trade, this child cooking, whatever. You assess them. When you assess them now, you promote them from the junior sec based on what is their strong point.
Okay.
No, this is what I'm saying should have been the process.
The process.
The process was, or still is, you just go through that motion and they throw everybody in the
same pool.
Yeah, in the same pool.
But let me
Well,
ask you
well,
something.
do some of that, but what I'm saying is, you're correct, but I would even go further. When I talk about getting a fish and a alligator and a bear, the same way, we're talking about a system where you evaluate people from even the formative years and the formative stage.
Pick up all the children in Fatima and put them in Mukurapo at Form 1 and follow them for 5 years. And pick up all the Form 1s from Mukurapo and put them in Fatima and follow them for 5 years. Will the Mukurapo Form 1s fail in Fatima?
No.
Will the Fatima Form 1s succeed in Mukurapo? And if
I
they
think we
do not,
we're arguing 2 points here.
it's not
Two different
but
points.
but
points,
the
right?
point I am making is that
You
the
see-
state takes $5 billion taxpayer dollars every year and spends it on education. The state should be taken before a court. Answer.
Right.
Take the state
Okay.
Phillip,
before the
let me-
equal opportunity.
Yeah.
Can I just say
tribunal.
something? What I'm trying to address here is eliminating, putting everybody
In the same bucket, in the same,
pool,
yeah.
right? Now, I understand all what you say.
Yeah.
Now, had I had been assessed properly and made that proper transition to suit me, I wouldn't have to go to fight up to see if I get in Welland. I would automatically have a spot in the Welland class. I would end up finishing school there.
Yeah, but you see, the problem start with you, not when you enter secondary school, you know. Because I was listening carefully. He said he was a straight A
was
student
right
in
in
primary
in
school.
primary
Hold on.
school.
And then he said he got zoned and was put into
Yes.
into Diego Martin Junior Sec.
Yeah.
Now my thing is, if
And
I,
my father was the type of guy.
So how come everybody don't get zoned?
No. Those days, in my time, they were zoning.
right,
Whoever living close to the school, you're going there. If your parents
Not
were in the
necessarily.
ministry, listen to me.
yeah,
If my father had go in the ministry, do the due diligence, I would have come out of that school.
Right.
When I tell my father I go in there, he was like, right, no passage. You
right.
understand? I told him, I said, Daddy, I did good enough. I remember writing all my essay, everything.
Right.
You understand? He say,
And-
he
and-
say,
and
wait.
coming to that point,
He
go
say,
ahead.
he say, no, you're going there.
No
I-
passage make the decision for the rest of his life.
Right, but hold on, not only that,
So I went there
Hold on.
now, and
no passage.
I
He
get
could
dropped in
he
a
could have been
pool.
doctor
Right.
today.
no, at that time the school, it's still rough, but it was rough still.
Right.
You know, you're amongst all different elements.
but you was exposed to something that you would not have been exposed to
Ha-
if you was a zone.
Yes.
And if they had placed you on your merit
Based on my,
based on your result,
I would not have.
you
gone
would
there.
not have gone to that school. You would have not been exposed to the environment or whatever else was existing in that school at that time. You would have gone to a prestige school, as you should have gone to a prestige
Yeah.
school, being a straight A student in primary school, right? You know to yourself as a youth man, right? 12 years old, 11, 12 years old, that you excelled. You know you do your work. You know you answer the questions correct. So from that age, you are telling a child, or we have a system in place that actually believes that a 12-year-old child does not know that they did good and that something wrong in
I
that
tell
result.
my father, I
That
said,
is a
Daddy,
mental-
I
that is
said,
a
Daddy,
mental-
go and
You
check
know,
this.
That would
Even
affect
worse,
any
you know
child
what's even
mentally.
worse?
You hear where he went to? He went to his father.
I tell him,
And the father say, well, no passage. And I understand
Yeah.
where you're coming from, but my point is this. The system failed him. The system failed him.
Stephan was even worse. The system shouldn't have the opportunity to fail him. Diego Martin's secondary should be as effective as
As Fatima, I understand that, but
Right.
it isn't. Because
But
it is not
So
designed to
what
be that
is the
way.
$5 billion
Because,
spent on? Who is
because
responsible?
listen, we said it already on this program. We don't have a racism problem really, you know. We have a classism problem. It's a classism problem we have.
Unfortunately though,
SEA,
unfortunately though,
Yeah.
you end up with people of a certain race at the lower rung of the class. So it's
Hold
they're
on.
saying that
Yeah,
they're
but
saying
hold
that
on.
to escape responsibility.
no. I am saying
Not
that.
you. That is
Oh,
what
they're
it's said.
saying that.
That is what it's
right,
said, to
but I'm saying
escape responsibility.
that is the process by which we separate the classes. You understand what I'm saying? So look at, okay, I have always said this. Go to George Street in Port of Spain. It have a primary school, Eastern Boys I think it is. It's Eastern Boys on the corner of Duke and George Street.
I'm not sure.
I know,
I'm
I
not
used,
too
yeah. A man clapping the back there, so it had to be Eastern Boys. Southeast is in Port of Spain as well, right? But I'm going to deal with Eastern because Eastern is the primary school. I know a little fella used to go to that primary school. I used to pick him up from school at times. You know, he used to tell me, boy, today it had gunshots, boy, we had to hide under the arm table. I said, we are learning in school today. I don't know, it had shooting on the street, so we had to duck
There
down.
is a school on
This
Nelson
is,
Street that
hold
has
on, my point is this.
walls.
Yes, my point is this. In going to pick him up, the condition of the school is not of the standard for any child to absorb any kind of information if you go in there to get educated.
And yet,
On top of that, gunshot firing on the street. The teacher had to say, duck down, students.
see,
This is what...
when you say that, you're stereotyping the community.
No, I'm not stereotyping nothing. It happens, it is
Okay,
real.
but,
So my point is this. If you have children existing in an environment like that, they are going to fail. And it is the responsibility
we absorb the environment.
of the leaders, right?
Yes.
It is the responsibility of the leaders to improve the quality and the
Yes.
standard in that school
Yes.
so that each child on a level playing field.
Yes.
But that does not exist.
Yes, on Nelson Street. If you drive down Nelson Street, there is a school that built a bullet shield wall.
Yes.
The walls were
Yes.
built to shield bullets because loose bullets was entering the school. What do you call them? They are talking about
That is Nelson Street.
what do you-
Southeast?
Stray bullets, well.
Stray bullets.
Southeast.
Stray bullets
Yeah,
are-
not loose, yeah. All right, yeah, not loose.
Loose bullets different.
Yeah, straight.
Loose bullets and
Loose
loose.
bullets.
it's children.
Tight, tight your bullets.
And
tight your
maintenance.
bullets.
Maintenance and children.
You know what? You know what hard, boy? 3 blocks down from that school
Yeah.
to the bullet wall, they get acreages of empty land that they could have put up trade school, sports school, art school, homework
Right.
supervision on the corner of Nelson Street. There's a 5-floor building that is abandoned with weeds growing on it that could be doing homework supervision. His father didn't make that decision lightly, you know. I don't want to make it sound like I'm disrespecting his father. Because when his father said no passage, passage is a reality to his father.
The man had to take a loan every time to buy books. Passage, if he could save one passage, he
is
taking
a-
it.
Okay. So his
Yeah.
father, not that he didn't want better for his child, but he have a reality to work
Yeah.
with him.
Yeah.
Of course.
And I believe he made that decision based on that reality.
On that reality.
And it is that reality that
And I
have
never
him
tell this story
proud
before,
to
you
be
know.
a welder. And
Uh-huh.
I'm proud of him to be a welder because I want to tell the world this.
Well,
Wait,
amongst,
he's not a
amongst
tailor?
A dressmaker.
A dressmaker or something like that. Seamstress or something.
Panda, that's seamstress.
I thought he didn't get into the welding.
no, I wanna
This is the first man to talk about freaking on the show.
Oh, yeah.
No, I was going to say this because the pandemic taught us that skilled tradespeople are
Valuable.
very important.
Extremely
They
valuable.
were more important than the Kardashians because
Oh, yeah.
nobody was looking to kill.
No, I want to say something, right, for the young ones who listening. Now, given all that happened to me, when I realized that I didn't excel in the academics, I started to push myself in different fields,
Yeah.
right? So I'm not just, I can do basically a little plumbing, a little mechanics, you name it. Anything happen around the house, I in it first.
You
No?
could fix
But
it.
you know it's
Right.
not
Eh, eh,
hard.
but
You know
look,
it's not
so-
hard. You know it's not hard again
But look-
to access that. You
No,
could go on
Are you
YouTube.
saying?
No, but
And
this
Google
was,
anything
this
on
was
YouTube.
before YouTube, right? This before I had any access to YouTube.
Hold on, hold on.
Right?
Looking for a
Before
Well,
you
let
go
me finish
further,
now,
before
let
you
me
go
finish.
further, before you go further, let me just make sure
Yeah.
I heard you correct.
Yeah.
It have anything around the house, you could fix it.
Yes.
All right, go ahead. Philip, you have a deputy.
Right?
Go ahead, you call Philip.
Philip
could fix
it.
Fix it. Look. Steven, let me
So-
find something to fix
So
it.
what I did, right?
I have a couple things to
I
fix
decided-
Did
there.
you fix it, so? Man, fixing anything, boy.
Let me finish. Because this
you're reaching the second hour,
this is important for people to understand, and it ties back into
Yeah.
that not everything is for everybody, and there's a place for everybody, right?
Correct.
I realized academics wasn't my strong point. I start pushing myself in different
Could I
fields.
answer a question right there?
Yeah.
Your strong point was academics until you reached a school that didn't serve academics to you in a manner that challenged you to want to be a part of it.
Right, but I have a part to play in that too. Eh?
No, but do you agree?
I could have blocked off the noise, and,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So I can't blame just the school.
The school,
yeah.
I have a part to
You have
play
a
in that
personal
too.
responsibility.
You don't have
yeah.
that responsibility at 11. Society sets your tone.
But Philip,
You
to
absorb
be honest
your
with you, I don't know what
environment.
happened when I reached that school. You know? Certain things just was not.
I think
it wasn't clicking.
I think
I
what
see.
happened.
Right?
I
In
think
all
what happened
honesty.
is
You
you had
was just a
certain-
normal, you let me
you
out.
had,
Like
but
me
even
and
like
like everybody
you have
else.
expectations.
Right. But let me continue.
Because
with
you
the
play
point.
by the rules.
Let me
You see,
continue.
you
study
see,
your work, you learn
Let
your
me
work, you do
continue
your
with the
work,
point.
you
Let me
get
continue with the
straight
point
A's,
that I
and
make.
now you feel like you're
But this
being
is
cheated.
important. Now, I always had a passion for comedy. Right? Since I was fascinated with that. Since a young fella watching these guys on TV, but not local comedy. I always watch the foreign style or
Richard
just
Pryor
take one
and Eddie
mic.
Murphy
Yeah,
and-
just tell
yeah.
a story, just talk the life story and make it funny. That was always my thing. So I say, boy, life a force right. So I go on, I get trained, I get woman early, I make train, this, that. I had to put down pause. Right? I end up in the taxi world, this is that. Why is I working taxi now? Doing my little, if I get a little welding work, I do it. If I get a little thing, I do it. I sit down and every day I work in taxi, I say, Nigel, this is not it. This can take you to the next level.
Right.
You want to tour the world, you want to do this, you want to do that. You need to come up with something to take you to that next level. Talking to myself. Boom, social media drop. Facebook. I'm watching it, I see it. This
have a money in it.
this
This has something. That's something here for me.
this is it. But I'm watching it now and I say, boy, I wonder if I had the courage. I say, so I go on and long story short, because I go on and tell my wife, I say, girl, here what going on. This was about 5-6 years ago. I say, girl, here what going on. I talk to myself and I'm doing all these things and it ain't adding up. We ain't reaching next level. We can't do this, we can't do that. I say, I have a plan. I want to pursue my long lost comedy career that I always want to do, and I want to start make videos to promote myself and build my style, use the internet to build my style. I can show the whole lecture. I said it will take a while, about 3 years. I give myself 3 years to put out content before I get popular. I done plan out everything, and I done talk everything. She watch me.
I
She
when
said-
my mother said, oh, marry
That's when, yeah. That's when she started study.
My mother tell me.
How this going to pay, boy?
Watch me.
They want me.
Next! After I break it down, I say, girl,
They don't
my
back.
gift is my mouth. I say, girl,
Your gift is your mouth.
Yeah,
She
but-
might be. She should be
I
happy.
said,
Why she didn't leave?
She should be
I
no.
said,
She should be
I
happy.
said,
Some
girl,
woman
I
like
said-
your mouth.
I said, the gift is talking, girl. I said, girl, in the barber shop, as I open my mouth, everybody's be so.
Yeah.
I said, girl, that is it. I know this is it. I guess she the whole lecture, she watched me and she said, so that's your big plan? I said, yeah. So your plan is to make an ass of yourself on the internet. And then everybody laugh
I
at
know that.
laugh at me and the family.
Hey.
Yes, okay, bro.
All right, so I just have an announcement to make that those of you all with barbecue tickets, the line started in the back, and we phone. Everybody look to see.
Well, all right. I want to know that barbecue.
The thing is, the only comedian-
Well, I look over the crowd.
And the actual phone lines are open 718-2888. Today we are experimenting with taking calls. So all of Stephen Matheson girls are looking calling now, tell him how sweet he looking today. If you want to talk to Nigel and get some more information, if you just want to talk to me and Stephan, 718-2888. Carry on.
Right.
my
So
boy.
ahead,
why
So this is when the marriage break up.
you're mad? So yes, I felt,
Dejected.
yes, I felt I felt all the felt you're supposed to felt when someone
Deflate.
Yeah.
went right. I was like, she don't understand. I tell myself she don't understand. Don't fuss yourself. You're going to do this and you're going to prove to the world that this is your passion, not just she or anything,
So,
right?
Yeah.
So, you know when he told a story just now that I gave the wrong number for your car?
You get the wrong number just
I got
now.
the wrong number.
Say the right number.
Oh, gosh.
719-2888. Now I want to tell all you something is David Welch write down the wrong number. 719-2888.
Because I see an 8.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Right? So
719. Yeah, 719-2888.
Right.
Yeah, that's the. Yeah, go ahead.
nice.
Yeah.
So
Continue. I like this story. Going good.
she told me whatever. I said, you know what? I have a funny way of when people tell me, you know, or give me negative response to certain things. I have a funny way. I have a funny way of turning that into a motivation.
Right.
Right? So I was hurt at first, but then I was motivated. Like, yeah, I'm going to do this. I started to do the videos. She gave me pressure. You on the phone so long. I want to do this, that. I said, girl, this thing is a process. Yeah, but this process, no money coming in.
Yeah.
I said, girl, it will happen.
Alex, when you go,
Yeah, I say, no, I the money also. I really can't. You understand? I said,
Yeah, I like that.
Have a little patience. You understand where I'm coming from? Let me tell you something. I had to, I don't know, this is the furthest thing about tech. I didn't know nothing about editing, nothing. I literally had to learn how to edit. So I end up in a field where I didn't even had a clue I would end up in.
Wow.
But I had a certain knowledge about storytelling through music.
They say necessity is the mother of
Right?
invention.
So I took my experience from the pioneer in arranging music and I take that tool and apply it to my videos. Because I say I need to be different than the other people,
yeah.
who talking online.
So do you make do you earn a substantial income or
So,
income that
we
is that
get in there. We get in there.
Because that's it for a woman, you know, that's the bottom line.
So I gotta cut it up a little bit. So long story short, I put in the work, I learned the editing, I started put certain content out there. Now the first set of content I had to put out was Baccarat.
Right.
Because I say I can't come like Phillip Alexander.
Right.
I ain't gonna get the people.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
I was out there.
No, I couldn't come. You know what I mean? I just use you now. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you come serious and they say,
Yeah.
no, I say, I had to with them with the Baccarat and the
Baccarat,
confusion.
yeah.
They love that.
she like back?
Yeah, I say, when I do that, only when I get them, then I will start to show the community work that I do
Right.
and all the different things that I really want in between to balance my content, right? So long story short, after 3 years, the phone started ringing. People started call, hey, I want to add, I want this, I want you to do a vote, right? That. So, but it's still on a minor level, eh?
Yeah.
So the first check I get, I walk in the bedroom. I can never forget. I get $1,000 was to do, I think it was a boat ride or something.
A boat ride?
No, but I think it was about $600.
Yeah.
But when I don't started. And I could never forget she wanted some money to go to do something. And I just come and I just give her the envelope with the 600. I said, where you got that? I thought you told me this morning I had no money. I said, well, I just do a video in the car.
Right.
And I sent it for the man and he dropped this. She said, you get that for just talking?
Just doing a video,
Yeah. I said, yeah. I said, but this is the start. You understand?
All right, but now she's seeing,
But
all
she
right.
ain't sold yet, eh? She ain't
Oh,
sold
she ain't
yet.
sold
eh?
yet?
No,
All right.
she ain't sold yet.
All right.
So, boom, now people start to...
I feel like I'm watching a Lifetime movie.
Yeah. People in here, let me tell you, all the fans here, I sure they're the first time they hear all
No,
of
but
this.
I the edge of
The
my
more
seat.
popular I get now, the phone started ringing more. Now, this after 3 years and no money coming in, non-stop videos, back-to-back trending on every topic, making video. I don't care who watch it. 3 years, eh? Now, in that 3 years, I forget to tell you, in a year and a half, I blew up on Facebook. I reached 70-some thousand. But I was so reckless, no order, I lose the account. Because I posted all kind of
thing, yeah.
I ain't know nothing, I just want to get famous.
Right.
So I reached 70,000 and lose everything. So at a year and a half, I nearly give up. And I say, nah, you reached too far, go again. So I started to make videos, right? Now, the pandemic is where the transition from just making a little pittance
Kakada.
to,
Big money.
I wouldn't say big money.
You're pulling down our money.
I wouldn't say big money, but I would say
More than 600.
more than 600.
All right, yeah, go with that. Go
Right?
with that. Yeah,
Like
more than
nice.
600.
Right?
Like nice.
More than
Like
600.
More than 600.
Now the pandemic came
Ain't ducking the Chinese man
and
grocery.
it was the perfect environment and platform and scenario for me to really show what I could do. So I changed I improved on the editing, I improved on the delivery, I improved on everything. Because everybody glued to this.
Yeah.
Pandemic, it's no entertainment, there's only voice, young brother, and whoever doing videos.
Right.
You understand where I'm coming from? It's no party, it's nowhere to go.
No entertainment.
So
None.
Phillip, I flooded. And I just back. 2 years. I said, Nick, after the pandemic, everybody who was hitting in the pandemic online, those are the people that's going to be successful. Voice, he went on the gate first.
Yeah.
Voice at the team.
Yeah, he and the old team with that IG.
Then young brother.
Instagram show, yeah.
I said, waiting. I said, me and Jealous, nobody, my time will come. Boom. Promoter started calling. Randy Glasscock started calling. Ads. Appearances.
Do you have a big show coming up?
November. My first show on my own will be November. I don't have the date yet because
We getting comps. You know your friends had to get comps.
We go pay.
I thought your friends was the one who pay, man.
No, it's Trinidad.
you know.
So NCW and Friends, my first production, it's going to be November. I don't have the date announced just yet, but it's going to be something different. I know a lot of people say that when they bring an event, but me being a social media personalities and on the ground level with everybody, I'm going to bring a production where I'm going to incorporate everybody and
everybody.
And I have a lot of soca friends who will be passing through too.
Nice one.
So it would be nice. So the moral of all that is that I had to apply myself in all different fields in order to put out my content in order to get that result. Fields that I was not.
I want to tell you,
I was not.
I am proud of your
Ever.
story. I want to tell you I am proud of your story. And I want to tell you congratulations for overcoming. And I also want to tell you that the system failed you and all that brilliance should have been paying you long before. You understand what I just said?
Yeah, I understand.
And necessity being the mother of invention, his brain, the brain that we see that he had, was not going to settle for mediocrity.
But you see, go back.
He was going to find his way to success no matter what. But the system should have recognized that in him. He is Beethoven without a piano.
Right, because he said it. He said the system, for the first 3 years, they should assess a child after 3 years in secondary school and say, okay, you know what happened? You seem to like mechanics. So we sending you so. It should have a school to go specifically for that, right?
Exactly.
All right. Andy, you're a footballer. You like football. You're real skillful. You're supposed to have a football academy where you eat, sleep, and shit in football whole day, whole night. Even from that age, and you start to develop from there.
In Russia,
when
your child born, just measure your hamstring to see if you could be a gymnast.
Now, the point that I want a lot of people who are watching to take into consideration, because this was happening in real life. When he said, and take this into consideration, he have a woman at the point where he now come up with the idea that this is what he want to do, this direction he going. He have to talk to that person first. Because our partnership.
Matterson wasn't doing that. Matterson is the man.
Oh God, he's the controller.
But
No, but I didn't talk for consent. I speak in terms of communication.
Communication, yeah.
Understanding what I am going to do.
But my point is this.
Because no matter what she say, I know I will always go and do it.
But my point is this, right?
What you say, Phillip? What you say?
You see,
no matter what she do or say, he was going to do eating.
But he called Stephan later to say, you have a coach.
But my point is this, right? You had a significant other that you had to communicate with.
Right.
You had to let her know this. Look, baby, this is, I want to take a chance. I want to throw the dice, and I want to go here.
Yeah.
Now, not everybody will see your vision in life. And not every journey that's come on a short road is a long, winding road with real bumps. Big bumps like what they tried to put at Wildflower Park until Phillip went and fixed it. You see what I do there? All right.
You pay me back for the
I could tell sorry to you.
You pay me back for the
But he said, after a year and a half, and I'm going to tell you something, when you reach up on social media to 70-something thousand people at that time,
Yeah.
you're sparking, you know.
I mean,
When you lose that, You
was
feel so
shattered.
deflated.
I was shattered.
You're on cloud 9 as your numbers start to rise. You're on cloud 9. You're building your confidence going, oh gosh, it coming. Because remember, he started with for a purpose to monetize it. It's a business. It's a business. It's not just something you're doing out of recreation or just for fun. This is a business.
I never planned to do it from
And this is the thing,
start.
plenty people who didn't have the responsibilities that you had at the time with the significant other. You had children?
3.
You had 3 children at that time when you decided to make
3
the
boys
right.
confirmed.
So it have people who don't
Boys
have
confirmed.
yeah, but it have
So that others that was unconfirmed.
There we go. The man's kid.
it have
They can't
people
confirm. Yeah, sure.
who don't have those responsibilities to live up to, and they will try something for a few months. People will try to talk them out of it, and they might talk them into giving up. Those study those voices. You see those people that tell them to
Hey,
give up.
watch that.
Turn a deaf ear to them because they didn't see it.
That is not your friends, but
you can't
my
blame
father
them.
tell
You
me
can't
it is
blame
not
them.
a sprint. Life is a marathon.
No, but they might advise you because they're telling themselves, boy, you're
But
wasting your
Stephan,
time.
you can't blame
how
them,
much-
Philip. You can't blame them because you remember my vision. You remember I always had this vision from a
Yeah.
child. I always
And they
see
don't
the
understand
stage. I always say that's me. You know,
And they don't
I always
understand
know
it.
that I had in
Nobody
there.
get up on that
But
stage
she could have never seen that.
would not
You know.
see that
So I
until-
couldn't blame her. You know. You understand? So when she
No, he's not blaming the wife, you know.
No.
He talking
I
about-
know, I know
yeah,
that, but
understand
I just
that.
like putting that out there
Yeah,
that
but people who might
I did
dissuade you.
I
Yeah.
never hold that against her at all.
At all. So it-
because when she started to see the vision now, because I used to tell her, she said, sit down in the front. When I started to do shows, and when I Napa and Sapa and she did and she went. I see she's actually
That is my man.
she watching me, you know, and I feel good to that. I come to she with this
Delivered.
and I delivered.
And she support you.
And she no.
She never give up on you.
She didn't
She
give
could
up.
have.
This
So
have
when
a Kenny Rogers song in it.
If a real woman
one
would
more
have,
point.
This
One,
have a Kenny Rogers song in it. You see the lyrics? Write it down.
one more point before you go calling numbers again. So when I realized the thing taking a next level, right? I launched Martin Apparel in the thing, right? In the pandemic. Deal with 2 printers. Inconsistency, everything not matching up. You know what I do? I was motivated again to do something that I know nothing about.
Yeah.
A printer didn't deliver a day. I went down, I spent a day in the studio with him, watch him print all the clothes. Help him with some. And just there and then I say, I need to buy my own machines. This thing not so hard.
You see? You see how life work out? The seamstress thing work out full circle.
So I end up buying my own machines and I produce my own clothes.
done.
As
You
you know.
produce your own clothes.
Yeah. Or
What's the
Martin,
brand? What's the
Martin Apparel. Right?
Nice one.
Man thing.
Mad thing.
Mad thing.
You know, Mad Thing is one of
Oh,
my
they never
favorites.
hear the man say.
yeah.
You never hear him say Ocean?
So I invested my money, bought my thing, and I went to the University of YouTube and I learned everything there is to learn about.
Like I said, the University of YouTube.
Right?
People,
So I
young
end up in a
people,
field-
young people don't understand the power of YouTube.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I went
They
to,
use it
so I
for
end
the
up
wrong
in a
They use it for
field,
all the wrong reasons.
a next field now where I never thought or even think I would have been.
Man thing apparel.
Yeah, you understand? Into. So when
do
it
I
reach,
get it?
wait, when it reach a level now, this is the point I'm trying to make with my wife now bringing she on. I went to her now, I said, babe, see what's going on. I understand, you didn't see the thing from the start, but right now, it reach a level where I need you on board 100%.
Yeah.
I say, I need you now. You must be my best friend. You understand where I'm coming from? And I put she in charge of my thing. Apparel, she signs the checks, everything. So if I want to check now, I go to she. You understand where I'm from? So I show her that I have no grudge against you.
Yeah.
You could not have seen that vision.
The vision.
Right?
But it was a vision anyway.
Yeah. But I say,
Exactly.
you see, no, I want you 100 with me. And within that pandemic, I made her my best friend, and now the relationship that we have now going forward as a couple and business partners, and it's beyond. You understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah. It have a lot of people, let me tell you something, it have a lot of people, you see that story you know tell there? man, you should share that story.
Tell us a lifetime
You watch me, no, it's an inspiring story because it's a youth out here that need inspiration like that.
Exactly.
Because you have plenty followers that looking at you and they're just laughing. But if they get more insight
No, but
into
some-
your life and your
some
story,
people
One
get
of the-
your
one of
points
the-
from them.
one of the
it's a different
greatest-
thing, you know. They inspire people. you
One
know.
of the greatest takeaway is that you had to understand what you personally, you had to understand everything about you and what you personally could do, and just step out. Just take the chance and step out.
People is
To
in the
add to
comfort
that,
zone.
right?
It's free to come
But
out the
to add
comfort
to
Come
zone.
out your zone.
Know what you're about,
And
yes.
do things.
But after that, along the way, other things will pop up.
Yeah.
And you ought to be able to take the initiative
Seize the
now
moment.
and seize the moment. Like
Because
the
exactly.
printing
Back-
and all that.
Back in
So,
school,
you
back
know,
in,
so
back
you
in-
also ought to be prepared for things that will come up.
Thank you.
Back
That
in-
is exactly it.
back in the
so
school-
everybody
the school
everybody
next
will
to
be a
Fatima.
doctor. Everybody will be a
Because back in the
lawyer.
school next to
Everybody will be
Fatima.
a
Go back there and lecture.
Back to the school, back in the school next to Fatima, which, I mean, we used to call it the University of Mukarapo, right? I know a lot of brilliant people come out of Mukarapo. So it's how you as an individual apply yourself too.
That
but
too.
But within the system, had they identified your skill for the arts?
forget about that. That might be a bad thing for him.
At the
right?
time,
No,
he
but
might not be ready for
I
it
was
yet.
always in the arts
The thing
music
is-
wise, eh?
the thing
But
is,
I carry the band.
you find
Indigenous
yourself,
band,
yeah.
Stephan
and you look like a young fella still.
Yeah.
You have plenty
No,
years to
but-
go.
but-
So
Most
so the thing
successful
is,
people
People
find
actually
themselves
don't
at the right
believe my
time.
age
The
when I
thing is,
tell them my
Look
age.
on fun aside, the
Yeah.
number one selling stationery item that spawned stationery stores was liquid paper. And liquid paper was invented by a woman whose husband died, and she had to go back to work as a secretary, and she was making so much mistakes that she had to find a way to fix it, and she invented liquid paper, and the rest is history.
See?
Necessity is the mother of invention. The system failed him. He found himself. But I tell you something though, I'm looking around the people on this table though, and I feel a certain amount of pride because I want to tell you, when you hear their stories too, you know that you're dealing with people who didn't see. Looking back, Steve Jobs say, looking back, you see all the trends coming together and it
No.
makes sense. But you wouldn't see that in the beginning when life was adversity.
Exactly.
When life was pressure.
Like
when,
you, when I graduated from secondary school, I graduated with 0 levels the first time. 0 levels, and there was a family member who saw because I came from a big family.
Right.
Yeah.
There was a family member who saw the potential in me and sent me back to school for 2 years, and I came out with 5 O levels, and then I from there, I took myself up and I sent myself to university and everything from there. I went to university about 4 times.
Wow.
Right?
But you know, you
and the
see,
thing is that I remember when I was doing my second degree or third degree, somewhere around there.
How much of those you have?
I said I went to
more than a
university.
thermometer.
Right? I
More than a thermometer.
I still there, by the way.
Yeah.
But I was calling myself a consultant
Right.
because I knew where I wanted to go.
We reached the law of attraction.
Right? I knew where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
The law of attraction.
And I was actually putting myself out there as that.
Boss man, you see the
And
family,
today I'm
you see the
that.
family member that saved you.
Wow.
You understand?
Nobody see
Today
the
I'm
family
that.
member
Yes.
that
So the
saved
thing
you.
is-
Nobody see the family member that saved you. James Allen in the book As a Man Thinketh, which is a book everybody should read. It's a very small book and it's free and it's available online. You can read it online. It's not a lot of reading. But in that book he says no man can rise above his own image of himself. You have to see yourself successful
Exactly.
to
Exactly.
be successful.
Yes.
You have
Exactly.
to see yourself as a
Exactly.
consultant.
And
You
I
understand?
always
when
did
you
that.
pack up your headphones and you was making a little thing on the radio and you say, you know what, I go in and make it.
Let me tell you
You
something.
have to know that you were going to be.
I don't know how much you'll ever do this, but there are two professions. Well, there are a few professions I end up with in life, right? But the first was DJing.
Right.
And I remember before I was a DJ, as a little youth man, I used to sit down in front of the radio when Adrian Dunmore and all of them, when it was Rhythm 95.1. Remember that? When all the big
Yeah.
guns was on 95.1? And man, I used to put in a cassette and click record and make my own mix. And I waited on them and I cut in so. And I going back and I hear now, and I making my own cassette. And boom, I come a DJ. The other thing I used to do too, well, I ain't ashamed to say this. I used to watch movies and then go and pretend to be acting in front of the mirror and thing, you know.
What
Always
kind of-
wanted to be an actor.
Oh, okay.
We do
And
that
I mean,
all
on
the time.
TV today, I'm not in Hollywood acting, but I come close
Boss
to
man, I don't want to put people.
I reach the Trinidad version.
I don't want to.
But when they say movies, you know, I like,
You're in
what?
Chollywood.
Yeah.
You're in
I used to watch
Chollywood.
like, I used to go cinema, watch Rocky. I mean, everybody used to do that more or less, eh? And then you're going home and you want to be Rocky. But you know, I didn't just used to be boxer now. I same thing like Stallone and thing and watching myself in the mirror so and pretend to be him and all kind of thing. And I same boy want to be actor one day, you know. I used to do all them kind of thing.
I used to do that when I go and see kick up.
I think the moral.
Yeah.
You ever heard your phone kicking out? No entry sign.
But you could be what? Listen, you could be.
When you
every
come out of
child
cinema
has
after,
dreams.
you're
Every
pent up.
child has dreams. And
After
some
watching
dreams materialize
Ninja
in one way or the
Turtles
other.
Secret of the Ooze in Rex. Watch me, is Donatello going down the road?
No,
From
but what's
Covin
that?
Road to River Gate.
You couldn't tell. If you
Yeah.
see people walking
you mean?
downtown, you know they just come out of a kick up.
But I think most of the youth now, one of the problems is the lack of motivation,
Yeah.
self-confidence, and the ability to push themselves. Because I didn't had nobody to push me. I had to dig deep within me
Yeah, but
and push myself
But-
and believe in myself.
but-
And from dealing with you, Alexander, I realized a lot of the children now lack self-confidence. They don't believe that they could actually
Yeah, but
be something
that's leadership.
given the resources that they have. Because my resources was limited academically, and
Yeah.
I say no. And you know what? That is not going to stop me
Another
from
reason,
making
the
it. You understand where I'm
education
from?
system. The education
Determination.
system.
So
supposed to
just
do that.
after that, I find this is why I share my story anywhere I go, to try to motivate people who may be in the same situation, who didn't have the passes, who didn't have thing, to let them know that is not the end of the world.
Yeah.
And,
You understand where I'm
Yeah,
from?
but, but absolutely, but I'm saying to you that the education system supposed to put, I tell people a story all the time. I became a writer. All of this came out of writing. I wrote millions of words on my blogs before there was a Facebook that you could do live videos on. And I only became a writer because Mr. Forbes in St. Mary's College in Form 2 thought I was a writer. And I didn't know he had given us an article to write and an essay to write, and everybody write. And when he came in the class the next day, he called me out in front. I was a small little fella, and I reached out in front. The first time I started up in front of people, and my legs shaking. And he told me, read this. And Mr. Forbes had a booming voice. I thought I made a mess, and everybody going to laugh at me. And I read what I wrote, and I shaking like this. I can remember it now, trembling, teeth chattering, and I reading what I wrote. And when I reached the end, I said what I said. I hear this man, big hands, clapping behind me, and everybody inside the class. I nearly wet myself.
Wow.
I nearly wet myself standing up there, and everybody in the class clapped.
Clap.
And
Yeah.
that moment, and I
Yeah.
just wanted to add this to you because
Yeah.
you see that power that you had to find it. Everybody, don't lose that lesson. But I want to say to Trinidad and Tobago, we need leaders in this country at every level.
Yeah.
We need leaders in the school
Every
to look
role
at,
models, right?
we
Role
need
models.
leaders in the family to see in children who had a bad experience and say, nah, this will not define you. This rum shop get very serious today. Bring her.
No, well, I think, yeah, bring our rounds now, bring our rounds. Something with at least 5% now.
And one of the
This
things,
0%.
one of the things with young, because I like to get serious something. One of the things with our education
Sometimes.
system and young people and people understanding or not understanding where you have been and what you
Yeah.
have done is that, you know, people put education, qualification on a pedestal that maybe they shouldn't put it, right? The thing is, it's more about you. After I did my second degree, I stopped going to school to say I have a degree. I went to school for learning.
Right.
And everything I learned, I put it to practice. I could remember everything I did from after my second degree today, like if it was yesterday, because I put it to functional use in my practice.
Yeah.
And that is what you need, because you have a lot of people walking around today with a lot of degrees, but they are functionally illiterate.
Yeah.
They don't even remember
That's true
what it's
talk.
doing in the
That's
university,
true
talk.
because they went to school to study, to read for a degree, cram in most cases, pass the exam to say they have a degree, but then
And
if
if they
they're
don't go
working
into
for
the
them,
field right
they're not even
after,
working in the field.
They forget everything.
They forget everything.
Yeah.
This is why I say education, degrees have a shelf life. If you do a degree or a master's or something and you didn't work in that field for 2 years, after that is worth nothing to you really. It has a shelf life.
And
you have to be doing something that pertains to what you're studying.
Exactly.
And you know that's you know what I see.
Or there's the malt.
There's the malt. There's
Oh,
single
yeah,
malt.
yeah.
There's
Single malt.
No, but you know they
Yeah,
have this
Johnny
thing,
Green.
Yeah.
That's it, I go. They have this thing where people go in and get masters, and I'm not knocking masters, but there was a time. Education is a thing that they use now for employment. But
So when you say Dr. Rowley, who got a doctorate in about 70 years and never published nothing, no, they're doing nothing. You know, doctor?
But he's quick to
man-
pull it out and let him know, like, I am a geologist.
A geologist, yes.
You know,
That's why I didn't understand what you were saying.
yeah, but
with the
rocks
ID
don't
thing.
change.
You know, geologist?
That is the
Ask him a question he don't want to answer, and I feel that he don't know about it. He's going to hit it at
The man who doing the first degree in geology know more than he did as a doctor.
but
He
rocks-
published nothing in continuing education in geology. You ain't no fucking.
But
you
the
ain't no
rocks ain't
geologist.
changed.
So it's
Come
like,
out! It come out and slip. I said, well, I don't bring that single malt.
Is it Johnny Green?
Is
Is it
that
Johnny
single
Green?
malt?
so it's similar to Kabbalah being a good lawyer, right?
Yes, the difference with lawyers is that lawyers you are continuously
man
studying
tell
and
me-
learning.
a man
Right?
tell me
You're
on the phone
continuous
that-
because
a man
every
tell
time
me
you
on
do
the
a
phone-
ca- every
See, I'm
time you
not
do
political, eh?
every time you go to court or you have to prepare for a case, you have to do a whole lot of research, and that because you have to go and stand up and argue. So that's the one difference with a lawyer than with all the other profession. It's continuous learning all the time. You're learning things every day because
So if
every
you have
day
a
new
choice-
just now every day new judgments are coming out with new decisions. You have to learn them things. If you're going to do a matter on whatever, you have to know what the judgments are in those matters.
Yes, but what I'm saying,
so
the
you always
reason I bring
learning.
up, if you have a case now, a big case to win, you have two lawyers to choose. Keith Scotland and Kamala. Who you going with?
Don't ask me that question.
Why? You have a choice.
Who you
The
going
man
with?
that tell me not in the politics, where Stephan.
I not to the
But
politics.
you ask me about two of a kind. You see, I used to watch Sesame Street long time. One of these lawyers look like the other. Oh, what?
No, when he just
Say,
after the
one
politics
chip
thing,
to
more or
those-
less.
to
But
those
who will
who-
you go with?
I'll go with Keith.
You're going to Scotland.
This is the rum shop. You're in the rum shop. So this
All right.
is why
He
it
taking
gets
Keith
so
Scotland.
sad. So to bring it back to some semblance of sanity, we want to say that we're still looking for a rum sponsor.
No, I think I have one, you know.
We have
Somebody
Stephan-
called Janice, and I was supposed to call the person.
Stephan
No, there's a
said-
person up in the north, not one in south.
Whoever,
I think after this episode, I'll get one. No,
whoever is Stephan
I have
rum
a strange
sponsor,
feeling.
I have a strange feeling about that.
whoever is Stephan rum sponsor, bring the rum now. Because I'm telling you, the entertainment you just get from Matterson in the second hour, you can get in the first.
Boy, all kind of things slip out there. All kind of things slip out, Matterson about, you know.
No, well, oh God.
When you get passionate, you know.
And
You had
also,
that passion, Matterson. I want more of that. Give me more of that.
we're looking
No,
for,
funny you say that
we're
word,
looking for
that
a
is
Jira
another
Pork
thing
sponsor
that
and
Yeah.
a Jill Queen
needs to
sponsor,
have
right?
out here.
What's that?
You need to be passionate about whatever you want to do in
Yeah,
this life. You
you must have a
must,
passion
you
for it.
must.
You know
You-
that if you
I wouldn't
get,
say have a passion is one, but you must be passionate about it.
Yeah.
Like you must eat, sleep, drink that. Like you know, like that video this morning. Since last night, I went to
Yeah.
sleep with that on my mind.
Bothering you. Yeah,
I in the
yeah.
shower bathing, and if I cannot do the video in the shower, I do it
Yeah.
because
Bothering
it
you.
bothering me. You understand where I'm
Yeah.
from? I don't just
And
I don't just take up this and talk, you know, Phillip. I don't just do that.
But I think we're in the era where I think it's good for people to let it out. Like, I mean, you have the platform. I mean, you have it. But listen, you don't have to have 10,000 or
well-
15,000 followers, you know. If you say something, let me say you have 200 followers or wherever the case is, or your Facebook page or your social media page is it's not as big as other people out here. If you put out a video that resonates with people, I guarantee you.
Well, I beg to
People get a
differ in
message.
some cases with that because what local people is letting out on TikTok right now
yeah.
should stay inside.
Oh yeah.
Yes, okay, bro.
No, but you mentioned
Because some
TikTok.
people, especially on TikTok, with the coming out of the pandemic, I mean to say people who usually wouldn't be in front of the camera or we didn't even think about doing that, is actually in front of the camera.
In
now.
front of the camera
So we
now,
went from a stage where people like, hey, I don't like potato, to every dog and cat.
Well, ask you a question.
And not everybody who come in front of this really understand where this going and what is the
I have had people message me saying like I saw the videos and I show it on, like I might air it on my show. Cause like I say, I come like social media on TV.
Yeah.
So and a lot of people message me and say, hey, thanks for any video, you're the reason why I started doing videos.
Right.
Because I was building up this frustration and I needed to let it out. So I start to feel like some kind of volcano start erupting every time I speak. I assume because people like they feel, they feel to vent when they feel inspired to vent and say what on their mind.
But not all eventing is good.
It's good, correct.
And
I
remember,
don't know
some
what
of
you're
these
doing.
people have a lot of following, especially on TikTok. Anybody, a dog could start a TikTok in the morning, he'll get followers.
And next time with TikTok, you don't have
Come on,
to.
Instagram,
You could have
It's
100
so easy.
followers on TikTok and,
Right?
and your video could reach 100,000
So
people.
we end up with a platform now where we have all these people just talking.
Yeah.
We have relationship gurus. Oh God, TikTok full of that.
Yeah,
Satish,
that's
right?
some new ones. That's some
Yeah.
new men, but I love them. I love them.
Right.
Making sense.
We have the naked, the people who just come to show their body.
Yeah.
Right? We
God
have
bless TikTok.
we have the bacchanal. Well, oh God, the bacchanal day. Right? And my thing is that
Satish.
we have
Yeah, but it will
too
interfere
much
with
people
Wow.
talking.
Yeah.
And the majority of the people who talking online, they're not.
Yeah.
They're not. I wouldn't say they're talking shit, but they're not.
They're not effective in what
They're
they're
not
doing.
effective in motivating a good outcome.
Yeah.
You understand?
I-
so there are more people
I can think of a
talking
few.
misleading the population or misleading the young people than it are people
But you don't find,
who
you don't find
actually
social media
motivated.
You don't find social media
Yeah.
So it
self-correcting.
And that's because a lot of people
You don't find
understand.
it self-correcting.
in a way,
What's that?
Social media, it's self-correcting. You could lead people astray for a while before they realize you on shit.
yeah.
They will drop you. The people who have longevity have been delivering.
Yeah.
And I think research, you see, you mentioned it, right? People see you doing, even with your comedy videos, right? To make people laugh. They don't understand how much work that's going to that. For him to be a comedian, he had to read the news.
Yeah.
Have to
He
be
had
on
to
top
be,
of
he had to be,
everything.
he had to be on top of
everything.
current
And then I have to
affairs.
find a way now to tell the story without offending
Right. Or putting your-
a particular group or religion.
or putting yourself in a
As
position
he said
of
that.
Yeah,
defaming
as
of
he
said-
defamation.
defaming.
Because
But
if Francie
this
Passad,
is the process I have to go
and
through.
judgment.
No, but as he said that,
Before
But did you
I
see
become
Francie
president.
Passad
but
judgment?
that was a group, eh?
Otherwise, I can
Yeah.
a long time.
That was in a WhatsApp group. So
Right.
the headline was wrong.
Oh, okay.
Because you cannot defame a person talking to one person. That was in a group
In a
of
group,
police
all right.
officers. But you don't find people have gotten way too thin-skinned of late.
Oh God.
No,
But TikTok is the place for that.
Everything
but the
bothering
more things,
people.
You can't really.
they were always
not-
thin skin.
You can't really not interfere with somebody.
You know,
Right.
like
Because
I have
people have
done,
their own-
I have done videos that will actually help people, and they come at me.
Yeah.
Yes, people don't even understand.
Bro.
Don't even understand what social media is and how to capitalize
Yeah.
on a certain level of exposure and attention.
It is.
You understand? They don't even understand that maths.
Yeah.
They quicker go and cuss the person. It have people on TikTok who doing videos and don't understand once you press send.
It's forever.
It's
gone.
gone. Even if you take it back, somebody
Gone.
copy it and somebody put
I
it
people
somewhere.
cuss me. I post my video on TikTok. How we could take it and put it on Facebook?
God.
I was like, this woman for real or this man for real?
Send means and God.
What is
You
happening?
cannot pull it back.
It belongs to us now.
It belongs to me. I'm a blogger. Once you put that
belongs
out
to
there,
us now.
So make sure, you know when you're texting a girl, and you really want to make no mistake, and you had to press that little green arrow in WhatsApp, make sure you know that is what you want to
You
say.
can pull that back.
No, you can pull that back. No.
You know, is it worse? Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Because prior to being able to pull it back, the worst is you hit the send and then you realize You send it to the wrong
person.
I don't understand. I don't think people understand locally
But that's never
social media.
Yeah, they don't understand. They
Especially
don't
on
understand
TikTok and what it's all about.
It has certain things people don't understand.
Let me
Let me just make it before I forget.
Yeah.
So you post a video, you leave the comments open, you leave the stitch open, you leave everything, but when somebody comment, you're vexed.
You're vexed, yeah.
When somebody stitch it, you're vexed.
You can't be outside here posting on Facebook and not taking
You can't want
comments.
to play my
You see-
Sanford powder.
You see those people who want to post but turn off their comments. You want to lecture we.
Yeah.
You're not having a conversation.
You're not having an open discussion.
I
yeah.
don't stick around them. Those are not people to follow because those are people who are only influenced by themselves and their own opinion.
But
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't talk about them. I talk about those who leaving the comments open. And once you disagree or have a problem
They get emotional.
yeah, they get emotional. So they pin your comment on Facebook and TikTok. They pin your comment now and then they do a video now based on your comment.
Yeah.
And they put all this energy, this nastiness.
Yeah.
Not taking into context
Yeah,
what you were saying.
And that's our next thing. Context
I like
is
it.
context is extremely important.
And
eh?
ornaments.
Because
No, but you had to be out there a while for it to stop bothering you. People just attack you.
yeah.
People just misunderstand and
Yeah.
attack you.
But see what they want to hear though.
Yeah, but the other night, I tell Satish, the other night, I see somebody, he post something that was an attack against me, quoting something that I do, and I said on my wall, I too would like to thank him for so.
Yeah.
So I take the piss out of it. Somebody copied it from my wall and put it on his thread.
Lord.
So he see it, but then he laughed. And he come on my wall and laugh. And shared my post too.
Yeah.
And I had the last laugh because my post get plenty times more likes and shares than his original post. But what he's saying is, I could have take umbrage and cuss him up.
Yeah.
Will you do it? You
Makes
wanna
no
fight?
sense.
It helps no one. You better off, even if I tell you, brother, you win, than to make an enemy.
Yeah.
Everybody who, there's something called put up. Right? Everybody who tried to put me up. You can't put me up as a blogger. I up every day.
Yeah.
So how you gonna put me up? Everybody who tried to pull me up or cost me, I have capitalized on it financially.
Yeah.
Because once you, all right, let me say, I call like the younger ones, no disrespect, but the younger ones who head into right on the shoulder, I call them chicken heads, right? So it have a group of them on TikTok,
I don't.
right? Right?
Politicians can't.
When I was younger, I used to call them chicken
Yeah,
heads, right?
right.
I wouldn't call them
Right.
chicken heads again.
No,
Right.
that's our next thing for you to
This,
fix, Phillip.
this is a certain group, right? This is
I
my-
like chicken heads sometimes.
This is my label to them, right? Now, I don't cater for the quote-unquote chicken head group. So if a chicken head come to cost me, right? I glad because
You
what am I
ain't gonna take them on.
when she costs me, he or she costs me, that whole audience that you have on TikTok, 90-some thousand, 100,000, they don't know about NCW. So once you call NCW name and you spend the evening making TikTok about NCW, they are
Promoted
going to
you.
see, they're going to search to see
Yeah.
who you're talking about.
They're going to promote you.
And as they type in NCW and they search through my page, I know once they go through my comment, half of them is not going to leave without following me.
Yeah.
So everybody who follow me, everybody who bacchanal me, I gain followers from one.
Right.
And because I know that extra traffic is coming my way, I know I put my financial stuff now on the page. So once I know a bacchanal start and they start to call NCW name, I start to promote my thing apparel. Only thing I do, stand up, where I do comedy, where thing, why involving. So as they come, you see, but wait, this man is not okay.
I'm brilliant marketing.
This man-
man.
Yeah.
This man doing
Brilliant
something?
mark- That's brilliant marketing.
Come on.
But you had to understand
You
it.
have to understand
Yeah,
it. This
you
man
had to
said they don't
understand it and
understand
how
it.
to react.
Right?
They don't understand.
I had a viral video just 2 days ago with this flamboyant guy. You probably saw him trending. The Coast Guard, the man.
The one with the Coast Guard, yeah. Yeah.
Right? I did the first set of videos with the thing. He messaged me. He messaged me on Instagram. He said, "Don't call my name. I don't pretend whatever." I said, "Well, whatever. Save it." He come back up now with the Coast Guard and said, "The man, I want wine. I want to cry. I'm telling you, he come back with the man." I said, "Right." So I edit. Now all this I doing, I'm making sure I'm not disrespecting no lesbian people or no gays. I'm making sure I'm structuring my thing in a proper way. I say, so, you know, I can help you. What you messaging me for? We could get to the bottom of this. As a blogger, we could find out who is the Coast Guard. Give me the scoop. Right? Right? And I bring the voice note now when he message me to say, don't post the video. Now I know when I post that video, he's going to answer. I know.
Yeah.
So my boy now he gone in his own. Yeah. Right now I'm so distraught. I tell this NCW. Once he say NCW, I win.
You win, yeah. That's what they got clear.
I win. I tell this creature NCW, don't post my video. You know that man said my voice. No, don't post me again. I say, following going up, everything going up.
You know what you're talking about, right? You know what you're talking about?
That is the thing
You know what you're talking about?
the man
Send it to me
who...
now.
With the who say,
with the
who
Coast
say
Guard.
Coast Guard on a million days holiday.
Yeah.
And he come by he and that kind of thing. And,
Yeah, and,
right?
and you do him in a car
So,
and all that kind of thing. I
so
know.
he trending. So once you get whoever is trending at the time to call your name, you win.
Yeah.
We're going to do cuss him out because he says as a creature, you mad? I do a video now with that video. You understand where I'm coming from?
The man come here and say,
He's a boss.
You understand where I'm coming- I understand
he come back for the wife.
social
He leave me
media.
for
And
the wife.
these people who don't come on social
Right,
media
real
through the
bacchanal boy
pandemic,
for
they
the
don't
boy.
understand it. They don't know what they're in, and
Yeah,
they don't
I
understand how to make money and how to benefit
But
from
you know,
this.
you see when you see that group?
This is a science.
You see
You
that
talking
group?
about making money,
That group-
boss.
that
He
group
talking
deadly,
about-
eh?
But he talking about TikTok and thing. But let me tell you
That group
something.
just come after you. know.
YouTube, they pay you
No, but
money.
I never attack. the
Do you
group.
get... Do you
Not
get,
once.
Yeah.
Do you get money from YouTube? Do you get
Like,
money
you
from
just sell
YouTube?
it.
No.
You don't-
My main platform is more Facebook and
But do
Instagram.
But
you
all
know-
your videos will be on YouTube.
Yeah, I just post all on
But
YouTube.
do you know that if you had your own YouTube channel monetized, you'd get money?
Yeah, but YouTube in Trinidad has take a longer time to grow. And
Yeah.
But
but I still post there. NCW Marketing on YouTube. I post everything there. And I barely reach 1,000. I like 8 something. And I have thousands on the
For
other
real,
platform.
I mean, some platforms just don't click
Yeah.
in Trinidad. We
Well,
don't
they,
use...
well, YouTube does click for me. I had like 12,000
Well, different.
subscribers.
Yeah, well, different.
But
you
you
see
know,
what you
I
do.
lost that
You
page.
lost it?
Boy, I was talking about the C19 now.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they pull on the
Plenty
page.
people get damaged for that. We
Yeah.
get...
I was fortunate I didn't.
Yeah, they
And I-
mash them up
and
for
I-
that.
No, well,
boy.
you see,
I lose all my
if you-
No,
subscribers.
I was hitting by. I was
Only
one of
back
the
up to
only
about-
men who
I
stand
back
up.
up to about 3,000.
I didn't take
I lost
that.
about 3,000
My
subscribers.
brother
now.
is Dr. Paulie last
So
time.
yeah, all of it
yeah,
one
yeah.
subscribe to the
Stephan,
Breaking
yeah.
Dawn page on Breaking Dawn channel on YouTube. We just back over
That's
3,000 subscribers.
that's
We're gonna
second
get back
ad.
up to 12,000.
There's 2 ads.
So-
Satish, Bill, Stephan, Reis.
So here we're going. Here how you make money, right? Followers
Uh-huh.
and trending equals money, right? Once your face, every time somebody go on the internet, them seeing this face here, it might be the nicest face, but every 2 scroll, them seeing me,
Yeah.
that is automatically a resume. Because you have a business, this man everywhere, boy. I had to get this man to talk about grab and go. I had to get this man to endorse my water. You understand where I'm coming from? That is how he is make the money. So in order to
So you are an influencer,
exactly
like Kim Kardashian.
right?
Well-
so at the end of the day,
Yeah,
not
you
like
want
Kim
touch it.
Kardashian.
Well,
not like Kim
Watch
Kardashian.
it. You know what he wants? Something just watch
Yeah.
it go by.
No,
Yeah.
but you have to be careful with that because you also have to protect your brand, your
But the
image, and
Kardashians
everything.
doing millions.
No, I'm not saying with her. I'm talking about with me, right? People have come to me with all different things already. You cannot jump on everything. You understand? Because you have to be credited. You have to have some
There are certain
credibility
standard, yeah.
standard to your page.
Yes.
You have to attract a certain type of business, and people, you want that. When I open my mouth to mention a product or a brand, they must know, hey, NCW is a man, he not going to promote no shippiness. You understand where I'm coming from? And you can't run, it can't just all be about money, because if it was all about money, I would have be posting all
Yeah,
money.
yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
And as you're talking
Yeah.
about
So you
that,
have to understand that.
so we have to
Yeah. You gotta wrap up?
a little bit is
What time it is?
Past the hour.
Well, 6:59.
Wow, we start late too, eh?
But we
start
start late.
and things. So
Yeah. But as you were saying, just to end off, just
Hey,
to close
how you
off what
doing?
you were saying, yeah?
Yeah. So just to end off, that part of it is that you know, whoever out there watching and, you know, you feel that you have a talent, you can make content, all well and fine, but approach social media as a business.
As a business, yeah.
You understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
Understand you have to stay trending, but some people just want to trend with anything. If you want attract certain businesses and certain things, you cannot be trending for anything. You have to understand a structure. You understand?
Exactly.
And you have to build a content way that you more or less you delivering a message or you're delivering. Even if it's bacchanal, I'm just delivering the bacchanal.
Bacchanal, yeah.
You understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah, you must have, yeah.
So you have to develop some kind of style and work towards it.
Yeah.
So
Gotta be all over
to
the
answer
place.
your question, once you are relevant and you have followers, this is what a business person watch at. Because you're not going to advertise with somebody who are 2 followers.
Yeah.
Correct.
One of the things I want to say today is that, you know, I've learned a lot from you. Just being on your show. I couldn't remember from Facebook, but then when I see a video, I say, well, I look at this all the time.
Yeah.
The thing is, you know, a lot of people don't understand what you're saying, and you just said some things there that really resonate. Sometimes when people talking the nonsense on Facebook, hush your mouth. You understand? Don't say nothing.
Yeah.
So
We was talking about that.
Is that a pick your battles?
We was talking about that either this morning or yesterday morning. I tell him we had set up to do sports today, but we talk about that since Monday or Sunday. And by Monday and Tuesday, people on shift gears 2-3 times.
2-3 times.
Then a man was telling me, don't deal with all the issues daily. Save it up and do all of them by the end of the week. But I was telling him, people don't forget all them issues already. We have the attention span of a flea.
Nah, but
He
things
is
happen
whatever
real
is
fast,
trending. You see, and you use the initiative. You saw a video this morning. You know, all right.
Yeah.
You understand that. Hey, this is a serious
this is a
topic.
serious thing.
And the man who's saying it, he also have a little thing. This is a man. Let me speak again.
Right.
You call. I say no problem.
Right.
I don't usually agree to go places right off the bat, but I felt like I needed to be here to address that issue and amongst other things.
Yeah.
So immediately, no long talk, I say, yeah, I'll come. That's all.
Yes, sir.
You understand?
He gave us some parameters. He protected his brand.
Yes, I make sure I let him know I'm not coming there as a
But he talk more politics than anybody.
Yeah.
I want to
Right?
ask you a
Because
question. Do you find when he is at his highest pitch, he channels a Fitzgerald Hines kind of vibe?
Who?
oh no, don't do that.
No.
kind of look like
I never fall asleep once. I look like Fitz. You kind of look like
This is when people
I
say
will
one at
do
a
that.
time.
My ears are and you see Fitz
Don't do him
Let us
that.
be typing one at a time, fellas. One at a
Don't
time.
do him that.
Stephan, I just meant his voice. He gets a little Heinz-ish.
You find
no, but I find you look like Heinz without your
I You see, I throw him down on Stephen and him.
like you're trying for him to play a character in the show in November. What you have in November?
Do we have
Like I went showing that character.
Can you imagine him on stage with that
You want me to
rocks?
do a Heinz? Get a bucket of dirty water.
No, Rodney Charles talk about him today. He said he will go long as he was when
I go run.
it's security in his street.
Yeah, I lied.
Well, no,
Who would admit it? Heinz wouldn't
I
admit
listened
that.
to Rodney Charles yesterday.
What's
He
with
said
Heinz
Heinz
being
will go long
Brighton?
as he was.
I just
Minister
want to
of
say,
Education in
you
the
know,
street.
as we close it off, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I watched your show a couple of times, and I must say it's a show that I always say, you know, if they invite me, I'll go because I like the concept, and you know, everybody have their agenda, but yet still you're open and welcoming to bring in anybody, and this is what we want in leadership going forward. You understand? We want people who are willing to give a listening ear and a hearing to everybody, not just post, just promote the agenda, right? And goes back to what we were saying off air, you know. If it's one piece of advice I would give, I would add to what Stephan said. Focus on you and what you planning to do to make that changes going forward for us. You see all them things with them, we know all what they do, this one, no.
Forget about that.
Forget about that. I said it on here. Focus on you and your plan and what you could bring. And I think if you do that, which is say you start, continue going down that road and forget these people, because it have people like me who on the fence. I literally say me, I not going so, I'm not going so.
Right.
Somebody had to come up.
Most of Trinidad say that all
Yeah.
of the paving road left, right, and center.
I don't care what they do.
We can't again.
Somebody had to read. So I watching everybody. I ain't aligning my brand with no politics.
Yeah.
Right? I'm a neutral person, but I'm just telling you to focus on
No, I
on
I
the
am
mission.
guided. I am guided by what you say. You understand. You understand communications. That's what you understand. You are a communicator on multiples of levels, and I understand, and I am guided by what you say. And I also want to say to you that you are ministerial material. You are the kind.
Why I know this was coming? Why I know this was coming, man? Somebody tell me you have all the background to be in politics. You know, you come up from the ground, you do community work. Nobody know you.
When he sent me that resume, I say, right, Satish, put him down in the Martin West.
Yeah. No, it's
And I'm sure you didn't know these things.
Not at all. I did not. He said it too. He said too, I get the serious videos that you do.
Yeah.
But he said too, we ain't know all the slackness, we ain't know you have all that talent.
Yeah.
So I happy.
I learn a lot of things too. I learn a lot of things I didn't know.
Today the rum
You know,
shop-
Arrange steel pan and all kind of things.
Today the rum
Local
shop
Corpus
was an
Christi and
educating
St. Louis.
experience for us who are the regular drinkers here. Mr. Reis, take us home.
Okay, oh yeah, you know, I forgot to mention, you say it's there's a range steel pan. You know, I find out, you learn a lot of things, you know. I find out reading the papers, I think it was last week, they never proclaim it as a national instrument. I have a problem with that. You know that?
Serious?
That was in the
But
papers.
we claim it, we
The
don't
president of Trinidad says time to declare the steel pan a national instrument.
But we say that for years.
We
and it's not
we just saying it.
Yeah.
But it's been there, but it's never been proclaimed as a national instrument. I just thought that was real interesting. I didn't know if you would I wasn't sure if you would have known that now, but
No,
I saw that in the paper.
that's
That was in the
news to
paper
me.
either.
I thought it
earlier
was
this week or
official
last week.
that is.
But
Yeah.
you see, we don't know when it's official what it means. What does it
Yeah.
mean to be official? Do you get to bring in parts for a duty free? You understand? Those things matter.
Yeah.
Those things matter. And
Yeah.
where's the Pan Academy?
But we had to have a conversation on that, you know. So,
So, Stephan,
you know,
we'll closing on pertaining to why I'm here.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Solution wise,
Uh-huh.
could you close with some what you know what we could tell these people out there to what we could do, boy,
In terms of the country.
in terms of the books, the situation
books
right
and the
now,
situation.
high prices and
Well, boy,
I think you should stick a pen and bring him back.
I think,
I think you should stick a pen and bring him back.
Refer to
I think
YouTube,
we need
you
to
learn
bring him back,
everything.
and we need to bring at least one teacher and a publisher.
Forget them books. Refer to YouTube, you learn everything.
no, well, yeah, I mean, I just think,
But we have another show happens on the same bandwidth, and we have to bring this to.
we have a next show?
Yeah, Felicia, hold on.
Oh, Lord have mercy. All right.
because we have to this going on every year.
Are you open
Yeah.
to
Every
continuing this conversation?
You understand?
Yeah.
Mr. NCW, are you open to continue this conversation?
Yeah, but
The
I
people
have
would-
to confirm the dates.
What do you mean that NCW?
His name.
His
It's-
name.
Oh God, I kill the whole joke there. Usually when somebody asks me that, I say Dutch church worthy. And people will be like, what? Is the devil in here? But it's my name.
I will let me wrap it up. I'll wrap it up. All
Nigel
right.
C. Watson.
So we want to thank NCW for coming through today. The video that he put out this morning, if you have not seen it, you can go to his page
Find it.
and
It's like
find it. You can go to
smash that
it's on
subscribe
Instagram or
Everything.
It's on
Instagram,
Instagram.
TikTok.
It's on his TikTok.
Like
It's on his
them in paper
Facebook.
everywhere.
All right, so go check it out. It's a serious discussion. It's a serious issue with these school books, the cost of the school books. We know the state of the economy and some people's pockets. And if he is in a position that he is in, that he's juggling 3 and 4 different things, and he have several different sources of income, far less than the people who don't have.
Exactly.
And that is the issue there, what we're doing about those people.
Yeah.
And look out for more information on his show coming up in November. Just monitor his page, and I'm sure he's going to put out something, and he will be on Breaking On to promote it. So, until next Thursday, all the rum done.
Guys.
Blessings.
We in the rum shop.
Nice, man. Hey, you try to get rum next week, eh?
Rum
You
shop.
got to get rum next week.
We in the water
Drinking
shop.
water.
We had rum the first show we had Jason Watson now. Is Jason watching? No, Jason
We
watching.
in the
Let's
rum
bring in
shop.
Jason Gordon.
Yeah. We in the rum shop. Yeah. Yeah. We in the rum shop. Yeah. Yeah. We in the rum shop. Yeah. Yeah. So bring a rum, bring it come in the rum shop talk. Yeah. Yeah. So bring a rum, bring it come in the rum shop talk. Yeah. Yeah.